Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 1 of the Mission Membership. Hi. Oh my God, I have to catch myself like a second. So, just like you, I saw this video for the first time.
Evie.
Oh, sorry. And wow, I have to. And I know that people are watching that are like now in the third challenge with us and seeing like how far we've come. And this is just absolutely insane for it. So touching for me. I got all the goosebumps. Jessa made those videos. She always makes those videos, and I'm just so grateful. So I want to start this whole thing by actually taking a step back and highlight my very, very special guest and best friend that I got to know during this beautiful journey of building my own membership. This is Jessa Bellman. Jessa, do you quickly want to tell us a little bit about you and about your memberships, please?
Okay, absolutely. Oh, you're so beautiful. My goodness. I'm so sorry. I think like it's the my husband came up with this amazing like nickname for Evelyn, the Evalaunch, and it's probably that's sort of taken you because she's amazing at launching, and it's just like the perfect nickname. So, no, I am so honored and excited to be here. I am Evelyn's biggest fan. I am one of her students as well. She has helped me build my memberships from the ground up, and I'm just so excited to be here to kind of be, I guess, a student voice and show you guys exactly what I learned from her, how much I think that she's different from everything else on the market, what a treasure she is as well, and be able to show you, I guess, everything that I think is special about her programs as well. So I started my membership journey with her at the start of last year. And I think I launched my very first membership, I think it was May last year or maybe March. I can't remember. It starts with an M for sure. Yeah, I think it was March. Yeah. And that's when I launched my very first one. Since then, I've launched 4 memberships. So I have 4 that are built off her framework. It definitely works. And I am a huge fan of it because it's something that I was able to take and learn and then, I guess, apply again and again and again. And as you'll see in this challenge, like memberships are very, very unique. Like obviously come from a digital product background. I love customers. I love customer service, and memberships are this whole other level of being able to connect with the people that you serve. So I'm really, really excited to dive deep. I always learn something from Evelyn as well. I kind of sit here in awe just watching her speak and learning from her. So I'm really excited to jump in. So over back to you.
Thank you so much. I think you're just a perfect example for how addictive the memberships can be, right? When you see the potential, and then when you serve your people and you see suddenly all those additional needs that they have, it's when you become a membership owner, kind of the way we teach you in this challenge, what happens is that you also become a small but sometimes quite important part of the life of your members, and you become a trusted advisor. So they love to, have you also as their first source of solving the next problem and the next problem and the next problem. And it's almost like it's so easy to come up with new ideas and winning products, because all you really have to do is kind of lean into what your audience wants you to create. So I think it's really Jessa, can you let us know what are your 4 memberships? So we will probably use them and my memberships quite a bit as examples during the challenge.
Absolutely. So, Evelyn has a very unique process that she teaches. She actually coined the term mini membership. So, I have 3 mini memberships. I've got Template Creators Society, which is my biggest, and it teaches people how to create beautiful printables and templates to sell on their website and on Etsy. Then I have Course Creators Society, which is all things like film and course creation and basically just, bringing together a course, presenting it and selling it. I have my new mini membership as well, which is Affiliate Marketing Society. So that's all things affiliate marketing, because I'm super passionate about that as well. I have my own affiliate programs. I know Evelyn has some amazing affiliate programs as well. And then my biggest membership, which is my inner circle, is called the Passive Income Society. It's where all my roads lead, and it's where I have everything, all of my minis are included in there. It's kind of like my one central hub of Jessa. So those are my minis. Do you want to lay out your landscape as well? Like what you've got, because you've got yours as well.
So you actually have 4.5 memberships, right? Because we have a shared one together. So maybe I quickly circle back how Jessa and I met. So I basically started my whole coaching journey only in spring 2020. And my background is in advertising. First, I was a lot involved in e-commerce. So I've been doing that since I was 20. I first studied law, then had a back injury. Then I started to working as writing product descriptions for a jewelry online shop here in Austria, where I currently am. And through that, I kind of slipped into the digital marketing. I also studied marketing, and I already started my business on the side because at that point when I studied, online marketing was just a very, very small part of that studies. And to be honest, because the way curricula are approved in Austria, they were a little bit behind. So I immediately built good relationships with my professors. And through that, I got hired to build websites, do SEO, do social media marketing, all that good kind of stuff. And then after my studies, I switched to, back then it was Austria's biggest wholesale, non-food wholesaler, built up the e-commerce department, and then got in touch with kind of Amazon as a vendor. And then I teamed up with a business partner, and we started our own vendor business and grew it from 0 to 12 million in 9 months. And then Amazon changed their policies. So I'm sharing this because I think all my journey has been so important. My whole entrepreneurial journey has taught me that I want to be one to many with a small monthly fee. And I tell you why. So we were making 0 to 12 million in 9 months. It was a lot of work, but I felt like my whole life changed, right? We got employees, we got a team. I loved everyone. I loved working there. I was getting up at 4 a.m. I was still working my job, and then working in the warehouse till after 12 in the night. But I was so fulfilled. And of course it was, so exciting. But then our biggest customer changed their policy. And from one day to the other, they didn't place any orders anymore. So before that, we had truckloads of goods going out, in and out every single day. Because I kind of found a way to drop ship towards Amazon, if that makes sense. That's another story. But can you imagine, you have warehouse of goods going in and out. You suddenly make all this money. You have these employees. You have this business, and then from one day to the other, it's gone. Just because your one customer makes this decision. And this is when, in the first time in my life, I had to let people go, and it was And, I exited it with a big chunk of money. But I was so broken and I hated myself for having disappointed people. And I felt like a complete failure because I couldn't rescue that business. So that taught me kind of like the first valuable lesson, to not put my eggs in all my eggs in one basket. And then I moved to Canada because I had a long relationship, 10 years, and it kind of broke in the process of me building the business, which teaches you a lot about yourself, and you really have to grow, and you also suddenly start to see what is not working in your life. So then I went to Canada. I started an ad agency because that also was my background. And first still did a lot of e-commerce, but with the agency model, it was the same. And this is also almost like the high ticket coaching business model. You are very dependent on a few big clients, and you're almost like an employee with a lot of bosses. And, when you lose one of those clients, you're suddenly like in a bad position. And it's always this, you exhaust yourself working for that client, and while you deliver, you have no time or energy to work on your personal brand, to build up something that works for you when you don't. So when you then lose the client, you're desperately for a new one. So it creates this feast and famine cycle, and you always work in scarcity, and you never build something that is independent from your time. When I had my son, I kind of knew that I wanted to change that, so I went into coaching. And then that was the first time I discovered this whole high ticket coaching market and everything. And I was running ads for people and got a little bit of an insight into how this works. And I was actually shocked how people are treated and how many people are burned. I signed with someone where I also got literally nothing but bad advice, lost $12,000. So I was on my way. I did my zero to audience process, because I found like a little tweak that I also teach you in the challenge, how you can run Facebook ads in a way where you can grow your email list and group at the same time. That kind of became my signature method. I grew my audience really fast to 1,000 group members in a month. I offered a beta offer, made $10,000, and my initial plan was to relaunch. But while I was delivering, I saw inside this world, and I was like, I can't do that. And when I had my first boot camp in August 2020, I wanted to pitch at the end, and I was so it was fighting within me the whole day that I just don't want to sell high ticket. And the moment where I pitched, my internet got disconnected, and I was like, that's a sign. I'm out. I don't do it. I don't know what I do, but I'm not doing high ticket. So I ended up selling the challenge replays for $97, and then it got me thinking. So I eventually turned those challenge replays into the first version of my Funnels and Ads Pro membership, which is now my $49 membership. And then a year later, I decided to do this mini membership version. And then my business completely exploded. We grew to over 1,000 members, launched it in this September until the end of the year. And everybody was asking me, can you teach me mini membership? Can you teach me mini membership? So like I said in the beginning, leaning into what my audience wanted, I was like, yeah, I can just show you what I did, right? I never promised something. I always told you I can show you, or I always told my students, I can show you what I've done. This is what I can do for you. And the year was the same. And now over the last year, it grew from a beta thing I did for my members into my signature flagship offer. We have over 1,000 students in that program. So I have my $7 Coach Growth Hub. We will talk about a little bit what's included when I walk you through how to craft your membership, because you can literally use it as a blueprint. The $49, which is mainly focused on really funnel building and advertising, because that's the main methodology that I use based on my background. And then I have a yearly program for $777 for the whole year, which is the coaching mini membership method, which is the one that helps with membership building from A to Z. And the reason why I was so touched right now is because I just can't believe how quickly this went and how far we've come from this very first bootcamp replay. Is it okay, Jesse, if I quickly show this?
I would love to see.
I just need to show you guys this. So you get an idea. And I think that's also really good, because I remember when I started how intimidated I felt. I witnessed like a launch from a coach that now is out of business. So also high ticket. They pivoted first to crypto, and now I don't know what they're up to. But I witnessed the launch and I was like, I will never be that. Like that felt so far away and so out of what was possible. And I want to show you that it's a natural kind of way. And this is what Funnels and Ads Pro, my main membership, was when I started out. And that's not even 3 years ago. Okay, so this is what the course portal looked like. I didn't even bother to remove the ClickFunnels affiliate badge here. Out of pure ignorance, of course, not because I didn't care. I cared a lot. This was the inside. This was everything that was in there. This is the video quality. And here you can see the quality of the resource. I mean, alone when you compare and I really tried my best. So first, the cheat sheet had more pages, I think, or similar amount of pages than the whole, bootcamp thing here. And I don't know. And this took me weeks. This took me weeks to create, right? And you wouldn't believe how fast you get and how easy things become over time because you train this muscle. So I just really wanted to show you this. To also show you, like, and this is, I think, why it touched me so much, is like thinking back, these humble beginnings are not far away, right? And for Jessa, like a year ago, right, or a little bit more than a year now, a year and 2 months ago, you didn't have a membership at all. And now you have how many members?
Over 5,000.
Over 5,000. So we need to update. Actually, now Jessa already has over 5,000. She's going to outgrow me, which should always be, I think, your number one goal as when you teach something, is you need to make your students bigger than yourself. Otherwise, you're not doing a good job.
Ahead of me, though. I always do watch your count because I am competitive, but you're always leagues ahead of me. So I can never. I'm in your dust as always.
Oh, and then so now I wanted to share actually the story of how I met Jessa, right? So I had the membership, then I had my mini membership, like in the beta launch. So it wasn't all officially selling. But Jessa reached out to me and she had these beautiful templates, and I had some templates that I DIY'd in Canva, included in Coach Growth Hub. And she reached out to me with these beautiful templates, and if we can do some sort of collaboration. And I was like, oh, absolutely. I can plug them here in my funnel and there in my funnel. So she rebranded a specific Coach Growth Hub kit for us. And then I just started selling it a little bit. And then I was really grateful. So I invited her as a student into the group. And she was so proactive and supportive and made like recommendations. Oh, this is how I would envision your sales pitch and everything. So I was kind of leaning into it, and we started to grow together. And I got the feeling like I would love to work with her more. And based on what our members needed, we saw that they really struggled to create digital products. And then we started our Together membership, which is a resource library of resellable digital products with over 300 products, which is your secret weapon. So we also have that together. So each of us I have 3 alone things, you have 4 alone things, and then we have 1 together thing. So
I love it. When I met you, it's a little bit different because I came to meet you from a fangirl perspective. So like you met me because I'm like, oh, hi, Evelyn, we should do something together, please, please, please. But I'd seen you on YouTube, and I remember this is like a whole year ago. I watched this video of you and you were showing your recurring revenue, and you were at 17,000 recurring revenue. And I was like, how is this possible? This is like so life-changing. Like I couldn't imagine that kind of stability, that amount of like revenue every single month. And I'm like, wow, I don't know what I got to do, but I got to get in this lady's world. She's incredible. So yeah, that's kind of why I chased you down.
I want to show you so where it went actually from when we met like a year ago. Because when you follow somebody online, you always want to see video proof. When they throw around numbers, they better show you video proof. That's my
that's what you should look for.
School of thought. Yeah. It's like, okay, whenever. So a year ago, you can see we were at, this was 26,000 in May. So let me go a little bit back longer all time. Then we actually know when we met based on how much monthly recurring revenue I had. So you must have met me in February. Yeah, January. No, January. January or February. There I was stagnating a little bit, and we will talk today also about how to create those little spikes. But yeah, it's a pretty steep curve here. And since we met from 17 to 168, so since January last year to now, or no, wait a second. January last year? Or let's say May last year, we had 26,000 monthly recurring revenue. Now it's 168,000. So it was pretty steep incline. And that's the beautiful thing about but you also have to see this before we jump into the details. So that was my first year of a membership. And this is, so started in 2020 after my first launch. And then it was, in the first year, I got all the way to 8,000 monthly recurring revenue, but that was completely freeing. Like at that point, that was the only income source I needed, right? And if somebody canceled or something, it wouldn't impact my life. So when I started, I also was alone with my son for a while, and I was the sole provider too. And I was really desperate to stop doing done-for-you work and agency work. And that was already enough to definitely live off. So that was already freeing. But of course, with the right model, with the mini membership, with the self-liquidating offers, which we'll teach in the challenge, you can also grow significantly faster. But I also want to kind of show you a realistic, it takes a while for all your systems to dial in. But once they do, it can grow fairly rapidly. Okay. Perfectly. So did everybody get the workbook? Let's dive into it actually. Or is there something, Jessa, you want to say before we dive into the training?
No, I came to hear you teach pretty much. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
I will just catch Jessa off guard and just throw like questions in there when she might like relax. I'll be like, what happened there for you? And this just to throw her off. That's my goal for the challenge, is to catch Jessa when she doesn't pay attention.
You're so mean. My goodness.
No, I'm just joking. Okay, perfect.
I know you're just joking. You're the nicest person ever.
We have a whole fly story. I tell you after. Okay, let's go into the training. Okay, my lovely challengers, I would like to start with you with the workbook. Oh, yeah, maybe before the workbook, let's quickly check that you got this. Yesterday, we already gave out the terminology cheat sheet. It's really good if you also have that open, kind of so you know what we're referring to. And in the challenge group itself, we also, can you see the challenge group now?
I can see the terminology sheet.
Oh, I think I need to share the screen differently, where I share the entire screen. There you go. Okay. So I'd love for you, if you haven't yet. So we will live a lot in the guide section, and here's where we structure everything for you during the challenge. So you can't go wrong if you just go chronologically through everything here. I hope you saw that. You can win 3 times $150 going through the terminology cheat sheet and then taking a quiz. And out of everyone who has the highest amount of points, we will draft winners, and we will give away $350 Amazon gift cards. So definitely make sure to check this. And it's also an advantage for you because you'll be able to follow along. And we also have this $100 Amazon gift card for the most engaged members. For the most engaged challenger in here, that helps out the others the most. Okay, so that's important. And now let me dive into today's workbook. Okay, so we first I first want to give a sense of common ground for everyone. So this is really the world of monthly recurring revenue. The membership business model is a model where a customer pays a monthly recurring fee in exchange for exclusive products, services, or content. This model, the advantage of this model is a reliable, consistent, scalable income source. And the basis is a long-term customer relationship, right? So if you have one thing in mind going away from this challenge is this is about a long-term relationship with your customer, right? Our goal is to hold our customer in a massive value surplus. And the beauty is that we can do this in a scalable way. We can create very high valuable resources once, and it doesn't make a difference for us if we give that to one person or 10,000 people or 100,000 people, right? Simplified. Of course, there are delivery details around the service components you want to include, but at its core, why this works is because we are giving something that is over delivering like crazy if it was given on a one-to-one basis. But because you can give it to many people, it's not only extremely advantageous for the person receiving, but it's also extremely advantageous for you. So this is how memberships create leverage. And this is why I love this business model so much, because everyone wins in it. So a few real life examples of memberships you probably are a member of and you haven't viewed it as a membership, probably. Maybe you have. So Amazon Prime, right? Members get free shipping, access to streaming content, and other exclusive benefits for a fee. I personally would never cancel my Amazon Prime because, again, I'm receiving so much more than what I pay for. So I'm happy to stay a customer there. Same with Costco. I love Costco whenever we're in Canada. So Patreon. I love to watch true crime on YouTube, and one of my favorite channels is Dr. Grundy. And I'm a Patreon. I subscribe to receive 4 additional videos every single month from him. And yeah, I think it's $5 a month, and I would never cancel because I love the person so much and I enjoy the content so much that $5 is a complete steal for me. But he probably has thousands of people that think just like I do and that also have no intention of ever leaving because they receive so much perceived value for their money. The New York Times, I just wanted to show you kind of a different example where something that had an origin in another model can offer an additional subscription service to their business model. And then, of course, gym memberships are also memberships, right? And this will be important when it comes to what kind of mindset I have about people showing up in a membership. So actually, I can already quickly touch base on it. When you are a big problem that my students have, it's like a mindset thing that I also had in the beginning, is that in the beginning it can really make you question yourself and doubt yourself a lot when your members don't show up, right? But that this is when you can, or you might struggle with how do I get people results, etc., when they don't show up. So this is where I always say, when you have an online education membership, it's like owning a gym. You need to provide the facility, you need to provide the tools, you need to provide proper training instructions, a good atmosphere, you need to keep the gym clean. But if the person comes and shows up for training with you, that's in the realm of the person, right? So there's only a limited leverage that we have when it comes to making people show up, so we can show our level of fitness and results and other members' results to kind of encourage them to keep going back. But that's literally all we can do. And you will always have 20% of your members that are the most active, and then you will have the rest that is not necessarily super active, and then you always have 20% of people that only pay and don't use the membership at all. And that's okay, right? Many gyms can only survive because not all of their members are actually taking advantage of the membership. So let me know, before we dive into the different membership models and importance, what memberships are you a part of that you haven't necessarily considered a membership? What membership, or drop in the comments, what is the membership that you will never cancel, like ever, just because you receive so much value that you would you're like, take my money. Another example is your Wi-Fi, right? Your Wi-Fi is or internet connection. It's a monthly subscription. This is so important to you that if you would forget to pay, you would call and be like, please take my money. I need access to the internet again, right? So this is almost like we would want to make our membership such a lifeline for people of value that, and this actually happens to us, right? People are messaging us, my card will renew. What do I need to do? I just want to make sure my payment gets through and I don't lose access. So this is kind of the amount of value we would want to provide. Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Gym, Netflix Prime, Dog Training Club. I mean, I should get a gym membership, but I'm already late. Heating, if you think about it, it's also a subscription. Exactly. Oh, thank you. Copy membership. So cool. Okay, let me jump back into the workbook. My website, yeah, good point. Your website is also a subscription. Can you see my entire screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, perfect. So there are different membership models, and the selection of your model is critical for your success. And I specialize in teaching a very specific model that I'll share with you in a second. But generally speaking, popular membership models that you might have considered are content-based memberships. So you offer exclusive access to digital content such as articles, videos, courses, subscription boxes. So where you receive curated products of all sorts, service-based memberships where people get access to a certain service, like Prime, Amazon Prime, for example, is a service membership. A copy membership very likely has a high service component, maybe some course material. Every coaching can be a membership. Consulting, when you hire an ad agency and they work on a retainer, that's a service-based membership. Software as a system, like funnel builders like ClickFunnels, they charge every month, right? Email software tools like ActiveCampaign, they charge every month. There are LinkedIn Premium, Adobe Creative Cloud, things like that. And then there are community-driven memberships where there's a sense of belonging and connection with like-minded people, where there's a lot of interaction. So, for example, Soho House, Peloton. So these are some of the kind of base models people go after. And now I want to explain to you, if you want to follow my lead, this is the type of membership that I recommend we're building and that I have built time and time and time again for myself and for my members. I believe that the long-term success lies in combining the right elements to cater to your members' needs and ensure continued growth and engagement. There is a secret sauce, which is a combination of content, coaching, and community. So a service-based element, a content element, and a community element, which creates the most stickiness. So typically, your people will be attracted to you because of the content they expect inside your membership. So it could also be, what we do a lot is we work with so-called tangible deliverables on the front end. So I just could show you Coach Growth Hub. My nose is sticky. So the Coach Growth Hub sales page converts consistently to traffic around 12% to ice cold traffic. And this was like that from the beginning. And one of the key reasons, and by the way, all these numbers were so much lower and all the story was so much less impressive when it's still converted at 12%. So it's not necessary that you have to have huge success stories and a lot of testimonials to share, because I didn't have it for sure when the sales page began. I actually can show you the first version of it after, because this is what Chessa made. But let me show you the first version, so you also know that with everything I say, with everything you look at, know that it's okay if there is a progression in here, and know that you can shortcut your way to already an elevated version because we provide the insight. But it's also okay if you start, on a maybe a level where you say, well, I'm not there yet, but you can totally get there, right? So this was the first version of, this was already actually updated because there are graphics from Jessa. I can see that, but that's an earlier version of the Coach Growth Hub sales page, where all numbers were much smaller. So here you see, this was the year-to-date turnover. You know, now we have more monthly recurring revenue than that. So everything started a lot more tuned down as well here. And as I said, this was already like a later version of it, because Jessa made this graphic for me. This is how I know. So here you see the tangible deliverables. We will talk about that. One of my signature strategies is to create your monthly content in a way that you can always productize it as a front-end offer to bring in new people on a daily basis. I get on average 34 new paying members every single day. And it's utilizing this strategy of productizing your monthly content. And those are the so-called, I made up the name, right? But we have a terminology, Chichi, so we can all be on the same ground. These are the so-called tangible deliverables. The more tangible we can make our knowledge on the front end, the easier it will be for people to say yes to us. And this is mainly why people want to join. They mainly want to learn what you have to share, and they want to have those tangible deliverables. This is what will make people sign up. What will make people stay is either coaching and or the community. So we have relatively strong communities. Let me just show you. And also let me show you how the membership looks inside right now, because I showed you what it started as. So now the other one was my $49 membership, as like it started. Now I just show you the 7 one right now. So as you can see, it kind of improved a lot. There's a lot more content. Everything is nicer layouted. Those are the other memberships that we have, walkthroughs. And everything comes with better content. So it's a progression. And now I will already make the 2.0 version of this after this event. That's my next to do. So with that said, the next element is, other than the content, which is what they have in here then. And you see like it's a lot of content. That also looks like so much, but it will grow relatively fast over time, I tell you that. And here you can see it's 5,100 members, and there are daily multiple posts. People inspire each other, people collab with each other, also because we create a space. I'll reveal some of that very, very soon. And many, many people really just stay for being a part of the community, for feeling like they always know what's top of mind for the community. They don't miss anything. And for one of the most transformative things we can do is to surround ourselves with people that are on the same journey as we are. This is one of the quickest ways to feel understood, to see what others are focusing on, to keep being motivated. And this is why the community element creates this massive, massive stickiness. Another element is that when you compare a membership with a course, for example, many courses, they just have this content piece, right? But what if you get stuck? What if you don't understand something? What if you have a mindset issue and you need some help, right? Then you would need support. And this is also what the communities are for. So we offer 24-hour workday support. So our promise is, what we're aiming for is to answer every question posted in the group for the coaches within 24 hours on a workday. In addition to that, we have live Q&As, we have coaching calls, hot seat coaching, copy reviews, feedback, video feedback, and we have expert guests. And then in the community, it's mainly the group support, the buddy corners, the exchange corners, and the networking events. So I just also want to show you that on the Coach Growth Hub sales page. So we have a few, and those are simple posts. So this is a very low effort way to create massive value, just because you are the point of connection for a lot of like-minded people. For example, we have this post where people can meet to create joint ventures, right? So when you have the same target audience as somebody else, but you have non-competing offers, you can cross-leverage your audiences to both grow faster. great way for people who aren't ready to invest in ads yet. If you need testimonials like I have here on the sales page, a really good opportunity to get that is our Coaching for Testimonials corner. The idea is that you consume coaching from somebody for free in exchange for an honest testimonial, and then somebody consumes your coaching for free with an honest testimonial. And I always talk about my testimonial flywheel. This was how I got my first clients. Was I was helping people for free in exchange for testimonial. I would share this testimonial, more people would want help, and eventually they would reach out asking, hey, what's your hourly rate? And then I would just tell them what's my hourly rate, and this is how I got my first coaching client. So those small snippets, they might seem insignificant, but they can really be your door opener for booking paid clients. We have a website corner where people can share their website. We have a podcast corner where people can share their podcasts and connect. Skill Swap is where sometimes, to be a little bit cash flow sensitive, we can say, well, I have this skill and I'm looking for that skill. Who wants to exchange that skill? So we have the Skill Swap, and then we have a weekly promo email. So I have an email list with around 28,000 subscribers. It's very engaged. I have an average open rate of 40%. And I send out every single week a promo email featuring the freebies of my Coach Growth Hub members, the mini offers of my $49 members, and the mini memberships of my mini membership method students, to help them get sales and grow their email list. And you can see like people get results like 97 new subscribers from one email that I sent. So I'm trying to find additional ways for my members to grow their audiences if they don't feel like they want to run paid ads yet. In addition, to also, and I also have a free community, the Coach Growth community, and they are also allowed to post in here with links and promote themselves. And I think we have over 8,000 members in here now. So this is another place where I can help out my members. And this was set up once, and now it needs minimum moderation to create this additional value for people. So this is the model that I teach. I know that you might not be a coach or you might not be a course creator, but there are ways to, as long as you offer a transformation, and we will talk about why every membership should offer a transformation and have a core roadmap on day 2 in detail. If you can offer a transformation, this model will work for you, and it will be so much easier to sell, and it will be so much lower in churn than other models that I've ever seen out there. So today, actually, just somebody asked me in Coach Growth Hub, what's my average churn rate over the year? And the cleaned up churn rate is under 5% over the year. Right now in Stripe, I can show that again. It shows that the churn rate is around 5% for the year. So churn rate, if you have watched it or worked through the terminology cheat sheet, means how many people cancel in percentage, right? And if I look at the whole year, just 1 second, last 12 months. When we look at the last 12 months, the average churn rate is 5.7%. And you have to think that I also cancel everybody who upgrades from Coach Growth Hub to Funnels and Ads Pro. I cancel their subscription. Everybody who upgrades from Coach Growth Hub to Mini Membership Method, I cancel their subscription because Coach Growth Hub is included for free. So this cancellation rate or this churn rate cleaned up is significantly lower. And I attribute the low churn rate to the unique combination of these free elements. And here in the workbook, you can kind of take your time and read through those components again.
Can I just say something, Evelyn?
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
Sorry, I'm just in shock that you've got a 5% churn rate. I'm sorry. I'm just like, what? Because the industry standard is like 20%, isn't it? So that's like industry standard. Yeah, you would know. I think I've heard you say that in the past. So 5% is like a quarter of that.
So the industry standard, so we have to differentiate quickly because I also want to be 100% clear and transparent with you guys. The industry standard is looking at the monthly churn rate, And here you see I have a monthly churn rate here of 12.7%. But again, this is not cleaned up. My dad, he's a freak in the sheets. So he has like a mug where it's like an Excel dashboard and it says freak in the sheets. He used to work in a bank and he helps me with Excel a lot. And he helps me to always calculate my cleaned up churn rate. So my cleaned up monthly churn rate is below 10%. And this is because, as I said, I cancel everybody who upgrades. In here, the industry standard is related to the monthly churn rate. And for digital marketing, it's 25%. And everything below 20% monthly churn rate is considered healthy. Everything below 15% monthly churn rate is considered good. My goal for my members is significantly below 20% in the first year. I want to get you below 10% in the second year. Because as you see with my portals, right, and how they transformed over time, you will start imperfect, which is completely fine, which is encouraged and the way it should be. But eventually, your membership gets better with every day you kind of show up in it. I also love that memberships really compound in value, right? The longer you show up, the better they kind of get if you show up mindfully in the way you create. So your churn rate will be higher because your membership will be not as amazing in the beginning as it will be later on. It grows in perceived value and also in actual value with the amount of members you have, because that makes the community more valuable with the amount of resources you have, right? With the amount of social proof you have. So this will go down over time, but yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty good. But it's because I don't think it's because of me. I think there's an element of me, of course, in this. But I think it's also because when you have those three components, you kind of ensure that there are different learning types, right? There are people that need community and that are really seeking that. And then there are like more the lone wolves that don't need the community element at all, right? And then there are people that they don't need necessarily live coaching, right? But when they have a question, they want to answer like quickly and a competent one. So those will be the one that mainly use the support group. So people will be in your membership and they will value different aspects. But if you can have this triangle of components, you are running at the highest chance of having something in there for everyone that is enough of perceived value that they say, well, charge my card again next month.
Sorry, I'm still in shock.
Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out. See, that's also lovely when you surround yourself with other membership owners. You can geek out over those numbers and you can kind of compare like what is working for you. How do you do that? And this is also a really important part of the community is my program would not be as valuable even if it was me giving the very same content and offering one-to-one coaching to the person, because it would always just be me and my experience and my perspective. But when you have a community of 1,000 people on the same journey, there's so many experiences and there's so many perspectives that you have such a variety of information and opinions that the collective intelligence is just so much higher. So I think that the communities, people often overlook them, but they also give you the swarm intelligence. So, and at the same time, they sharpen you as a coach from that swarm intelligence. You level up so much as a coach when you have to create the same transformation, not for those 5 high-ticket clients that you have or those 20 high-ticket clients that you have, but for thousands of people, right? You learn about so many specific scenarios and niches and use cases, and then you solve the problem here in a slightly other way, and then you solve the problem here in a slightly other way, and you get this enormous toolbox of tools to solve people's problems. I think this is the most growth I ever made in my life, because now I have to make it work for so many people. And the thing is also that really genuinely showing up and caring and helping is enough. Most people don't expect you for $49 a month to build their complete business for them, but they expect help and valuable resources and a place where they can go to when they're stuck. So it's also this beautiful if what I often see, I had a beautiful member and she grew a successful membership, and then she decided that it's not fast enough, so she offered high ticket coaching again. And then a few months later, she called me and she's like, I'm never doing high ticket coaching again. I'm so burned out. People think because they paid me $5,000 that they own my soul, and they call me every single day and they think that I'm building their business. Well, for $5,000, I cannot go and build their business. I think when you coach, that's like, and you have coaching experience, that becomes obvious for you that even if somebody paid you like a significant amount of money, you will not be able to do the work for them. Like, still not. With coaching, there's always this component of team effort. So there's only so much you can control about getting your client a result. At the same time, you charged an amount that is life altering for many people in that situation, and they put all their hope into you, giving you probably their last cent, or sometimes going into debt to be able to pay you. Of course, they expect you to go to the moon and beyond, right? So I think just also charging a lower price sets the right tone for the relationship, if that makes sense.
I love that so much. And you really can help people more when you're putting 100% of your energy into creating content that you can scale. It's just so much easier to actually have, like, the ratio of impact is much, much bigger when you're on a lower cost per purchase. It's so good.
Absolutely. And you also allow people, I shared our memberships. The membership spotlight list is over 15 pages of memberships just from the students that felt comfortable sharing it. And for the price of like one high ticket program, you can buy, how many memberships of areas in which you want to educate yourself. So I also think it's really beautiful for people to be able to access like so many more resources and support, right? So I think it's really a win-win for everyone.
It's a dangerous list. There's a lot of really, really good memberships on that list. So just be careful if you look.
Yeah, somebody just said in the comments, I've had some clients think they own my soul after paying $200. Absolutely. But here's another thing that's really amazing about your membership, and as your community grows, you'll always have those people. You have some people that think for $7 they own you now. But the beautiful thing is when you have a strong community and you have culture, your members self-regulate, right? So you don't have to tell like a person, sorry, but I cannot do all this for you for $7. But your members will be like, excuse me, this is a $7 community. What are you asking from Evelyn right now? So it's like this really beautiful space where kind of your community starts to gently but surely self-regulate, and it comes to this place where your energy and bubble is really protected. Do you have the same experience, Chessa?
Oh, I have the most beautiful communities. They are just I'm at my happiest when I'm in my communities, and you'll just find that they're a place where you see so many people come together, and someone has a bad experience, and then you look before you even post, there'll be like 20 posts on that post, and you'll be like, wow,
Yeah.
like this is amazing. Like, I can't offer this by myself. Like, it's impossible for one person to offer. Like, it takes what do you call it when you try a village to raise a child? Much the same when you're building a business.
That's true. I love that. It takes a village to build a business. That's so true. And it's also, you have one also when you're cheering. We also sometimes have that, right? Where somebody in the group says, "Guys, I'm out. I'm giving up," right? And everybody storms and it's like, "No, don't give up!" Right? There's so much to fight for here. And then you of course also like, "No, don't give up." And then you see the person coming back like a couple weeks later. Yeah, I finally hit my 50th member. It's like so beautiful to kind of see those, and because everybody witnesses those waves of each other, it also shows you like, oh, okay, it's not only for me that sometimes I feel like burning down my whole business, and then I feel like good again. It really normalizes this growth journey, right?
It really does. And I think even if you look at your Stripe dashboard from before, it's like you really you struggled for a long time in the beginning, and you tried things again and again and again, and you didn't have a community when you were starting out as well. And I think your growth would have been quicker if you did, because you're kind of in your own bubble.
Absolutely. I just saw this comment and really caught my attention. So that when the engagement is not, that's so normal. And I would love for you to think about this this lack of engagement as like a temporary thing. Imagine that this is like you throwing a party, right? And I don't know if it was the same for you, but when I went like through puberty, and then I was like 20 and something, and I started to throw my first like own hosted parties for my birthday. First, I was completely nervous that nobody would show up, and then people would show up from like different areas of my life, and they had no connection with each other. So there was this awkward silence, like everybody standing with their drink and holding on to it, and there was this awkward silence. And it's just like with a party in your membership, it's like you need to break the ice, right? So in the beginning, you are a little bit like that host on that cocktail party where you bringing everyone together, you're introducing everyone, you sharing a story from yourself, right? And mostly you will be the one sharing. The more you give from yourself, and the more you show that it's completely okay to show up imperfect and vulnerable, but to just show up, the easier it will get, and the more the community will really start to get going.
And something that really helped me, I know it's helped so many members as well. There is it in your Coach Growth Hub that you have the Trello board with all the like the posts, the content posts, or is that mini
Yeah.
membership?
The posts we have. Do you mean the pre-launch Trello content board? Or-
Yeah, that one. And it's got you in the like little swing, and it's got like the examples. That helped me so much in the beginning, because sometimes you just don't know what to write, and it feels like, what do you even say to everyone? You're not used to it. So
Oh yeah, that's a big one. We were on day 3. I'll walk you through my organic content strategy, and I'll show you how I write those story posts and everything. And I will also teach you a little bit about how you can start showing up like this. In a nutshell, so this is in Funnels and Ads Pro, and also in Coaching Mini Membership Method. If you don't have it, but on day 3, I'll also share quite a bit about organic content. So please don't worry about it too much right now. What did I want to say? Basically, in a nutshell, I'm treating my social media almost like a diary, and it's very rewarding. It's very easy to create a couple of pillar content pieces per week and then turn them into different resources. But yeah, we will talk about content a little bit more in detail. How was it in your paid communities, Jessa, though? Did they immediately kind of start to engage and ask questions, or was there also a little bit of silence? How did that work?
yeah, there was definitely silence. It was just, it's so nerve-wracking when you start out, because it's like you feel like it should be just like, even just 60 people, you feel like it should be like a hive of gossip. That's like 60 people is a lot of people, isn't it? It's like a wedding party. Like everyone's there. You expect like heaps of noise, but it was dead silent for me. I think it took me to get to like 500 members or something before the community really rose up and it was fully engaged. We had daily posts, and yeah, so it takes a long time. What about you?
Oh, during my first year, I grew relatively fast to 100 members, and then I broke my funnel, which is day 2 is funnel day. And then I was really struggling. I was stuck around those 100 members for 9 months, probably. I can actually share with you the revenue growth journey. That would be a good thing to share after as well. But in this whole first year, even having 100 members, there were not posts every day in the group. Like there were days where people are so concerned about, would I have the capacity to serve, and how do I create content? Like you literally have time because there will not be a lot of questions. And like there were days where there were just like 2 or 3 questions, even when it was like bigger, 250 members. Was it the same for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think if not a little bit slower, because I had zero audience when I started. So it was like everyone in there was new. They didn't know me at all. And it was very much slow growth to engagement. So but yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth
It's
the wait.
absolutely worth it, right? And it's also good if you just know that this is like a normal phase, and it is to expect, basically. Okay. So let's talk about another component of this membership model, how I perceive it. And this is, you would want to start an online membership business based on your personal experience, expertise, passion, and knowledge. And that offers several key advantages. So what does that mean? I firmly believe that you should practice what you preach, and you should preach what you practice. So nobody is expecting you to know everything. they just expect you basically to tell them what you've learned so far. And you would be surprised about how many people would want to switch position with you in life immediately, right? Or would want to be in a phase that you've already outgrown. Like with Chessa, when she started her membership, she had successful stores on Etsy, right? But now she thought that she wants to take this to another level. But there are so many people that just want to, have successful Etsy stores first, right? Or that, maybe don't want to have a membership model altogether. But we sometimes underestimate that how far we are in the journey, and it's so easy to compare yourself like up to everything you're not yet, right? And everything you want to be, and we don't compare ourselves with people that might just want to be where we are right now. So this is the first kind of premise: is it needs to be born from your personal story. It needs to be deeply rooted in your own genuine expertise. Now with the rise of AI as well, we have people telling you can create an online course in a day. Yeah, if you know what you're talking about, you can use AI to speed up that course creation, but you need to be the one giving birth to the ideas and validating that the output is actually correct and relevant for real life, right? Otherwise, it doesn't serve anyone. And this is what I really want to double down on, because your growth and your retention rates, they will only be as good as authentic and genuine you are as an expert. And again, you are good enough already as an expert. But please make it about you and what you truly know from real life experience, and you're allowed to grow with your members, right? When I started out, I was not a membership expert. I just grew into it. And that's completely fine for you as well. You can start where you are and you can grow with your members and just always pour back into your community what you learn along the way. The advantages of growing your memberships like this or building them like this is authenticity. So you build a membership around your personal interest and expertise, you're more likely to create an authentic and genuine connection with your target audience. So this, of course, leads to increased trust and loyalty of your members. There is, I don't know if it's Pat Flynn, but I once read this article about 1,000 true fans. And it was basically, if you have 1,000 true fans, you'll never have to work a day again in your life because his theory was like, on average per year, everyone would buy something for $100 from you. And this would mean that you make $100,000 a year from your 1,000 loyal fans. And with your memberships, it's almost like that. I think, Chessa, I don't know, but the other day we talked about this. I think I never have to go back. Was it with you? I don't know who I talked to, but at one point I had this realization where I was like, I will never have to go back to a job or to do something else. I have, out of my now 5,700 people, I think there are even more than 1,000 people that would follow me no matter where I go, because they know me and they like me and they trust me. And, they are my true fans. So when you realize you have built that, and now it's like you're an insurance for life, right? They're true fans of who you truly are and what you truly have to bring to the table. And it's such a relieving feeling. Your content creation gets so much easier because you really just have to talk about what you're passionate and knowledgeable about, and that becomes what you just share. For my Funnels and Ads Pro and Coaching Mini Membership Method members, I document this launch in a live launch Trello board, right? So everything I did to create this launch, I basically templatized and I recorded a video. So for me, creating these, what for others is high valuable learning materials, is literally me documenting what I do. And when your passion is in relationships, for example, relationship coaching, you literally have to document how you work it out with your husband, how you how you help this member to work it out. So you really just have to document what you do all day. And this is how your content actually creates itself. And it's the most valuable content for your members because, again, it's rooted in real life experience, and the value you provide is your insightful reflection of that. You condense that experience that you had that took you time and sometimes pain to acquire. You take that and you condense it into a small digestible piece, saving your member time and headache to acquire the same insight. Okay. Of course, this enhances your credibility. Your members will be more likely to trust you and to value your information that you provide. And we will see a massive rise of AI courses and coaches that power all their content with AI, free and paid. And people will really look for who can I still trust with this? Because what AI is good at is forming sentences that sound logical, but what it's bad at is producing something that is born from real life experience, and with that has relevancy. For all of you who ever looked into how to make money online, you probably have watched a lot of videos and consumed a lot of blog posts. How many blog posts have you read where you were done reading and you're like, okay, but what does that mean? And how do I make money right now? And this is the same principle with the content created from AI or from somebody who talks about things they haven't experienced, because they wouldn't be able to tell you how to actually do it, right? They wouldn't have the insight like Jessa and I. They wouldn't have the insight like, well, at first it's like really awkward. When you have your first 100 members, you don't even get a question every single day, and that's completely normal. If you have not been there and done it, you cannot share this, right? And people will want to look for trusted sources. The more of this shallow content will be produced, and it will be because it's so easy to produce it, the more people will hold on to the person that provides real value and stick with them. So I think we will see even more of that happening. And I think, again, this will, in addition to what happens currently with the economy, inflation, the cost of living crisis, all of that fuels and funnels people towards memberships, because it's the better model for how our society is currently going. I'm deeply convinced. You have greater motivation and commitment, right? I could do this all day. I swear to you, this does not feel like work. I always get asked how much I work. I have a little son, and he's in kindergarten right now. I work on average 30 hours per week. But I also have built my team. In the beginning, when he was smaller, I definitely worked more, but I also did a lot of things that were unnecessary because I was scarcity driven, and I did a lot of projects where I was underpaid, and that eventually led to nothing. And I also did like a lot of things that were just not focused and aligned. So we will talk about focus and alignment today as well. And what's also beautiful is if you create a membership based on who you authentically are and what's your genuine experience, you have a niche market appeal, and you create a membership that is very uniquely you and can be it's very hard to copy. Jessa, can I share a little bit about our conversation yesterday? I will be very careful.
Yeah, go for it. It's been a week.
Jessa has been 2 times in the last 2 weeks. Somebody
no.
4 times. 4 different people or 2 times the same people? 4 different people. So 4 different people went inside Jessa's membership and ripped it off. So one copied the whole sales page, basically 1-to-1. One basically took materials and sold them. What did the other 2 do that I don't even know about?
Just going through and just copying like things like word for word and sort of seeing like a template and then tweaking something small. So exactly the same, like basically what I've presented in my membership, but making their own version, which is a direct copy of what I've provided. So unfortunate.
That's unfortunately. But I have or I can assure you, if you build your membership around Jessa still, although these people are around, Jessa, you still have over 5,000 paying monthly members, right? They didn't go away. Jessa's growth didn't slow down, right? So while it's shameful and hurtful and intruding and absolutely cannot be justified, in my personal opinion, it also can't touch Jessa anymore. And I personally also had so many copycats. But I can tell you that when you build a membership in an authentic way, just like what I said, around who you truly are, what's your genuine experience, what you're passionate about, and what you have to bring to the table, you create your membership from a material that only you have access to. It's pieces of your soul, right? Somebody can copy it and it will still not be the same because it's not you. And even if they copy it, how do they want to keep up? The places where you will start to source your content from, once you start to work on it and once you really lean into it, you will be able to source your content and create from a place that they just don't have access to. So they can never be you. And even if they would copy everything you do from now moving forward, they can always only be the second. and they always can only be a poor copy, and people realize that. So they just don't have access. Jessa cannot be copied because she creates everything from who she truly is. She pours her heart and soul into everything. So, and this is why we also don't see growth slowing down. And I also have to tell you that there might some people, not knowing and falling for it. But how do you see people that take cookie cutter approaches like this serving members? How do you see them treating people? Are those really people that are able to create long-term value? I personally don't think so. What do you think, Jessa?
I don't think so. And I think as well, after this week, it's normally not this bad. It's kind of all just been in a cloud of this week. Normally it's fine. But the one thing that I've noticed as well is this week my members have just come all out, and I've just had so much love. I've had so many emails from people like forwarding like infringements and just sending like support and love. And it's just like, wow, that is just such an incredible gift above everything else. So that's something that's really special about memberships as well. Like your members come out to fight for you. They really do.
Yeah. And I think that's beautiful. And in your case, like so well deserved. Also my coaching mini membership members, when they saw it about Jessa, they were like ready to go with their pitchforks. They were like, okay, slow down guys. But it's, and it can't harm you. It's I sent Jessa pictures of Mr. Beast being copied. Like there's still only one Mr. Beast. So when you're sourcing from what's originally you can never be copied. And this is why we also recommend it. So those people can even take her materials, but they can't teach on it. What do they do when they get asked the question? Like, where do they source the answer from? They can only give a wrong answer, and you can only get away with sounding confident and giving a wrong answer for so much time. So stick with sorry, please go ahead.
I love you. You always talk me off the ledge because I get really triggered by it, because I feel like I feel hurt when people steal. And I think that's something that a lot of people feel when something's taken. But I love your outlook, and I just think that it is the right way to look at things. And yeah, you're a very good friend. I'm very lucky to have you.
It was for me the same too, right? The first time I got copied, I felt like I have to die and that my business is at risk and everything, right? So it felt so threatening, and it felt so violent and so cruel. And it felt so disappointing in humankind. And like, it felt so disappointing. Like, who would do that? And then it happens again, and then it happens again, and then it happens again, and then it happens again. And you get desensitized for that. And a couple months later, you look it up and it's like, oh, this person is on to the 10th thing they're copying right now. So it's also not that they stick with that, right? So, and I think it's just a waste of your energy if you funnel too much energy in there. Definitely. And plus, like, I think one of the people that stole from you, she also sent an email telling people to sign up to your thing and take things and then cancel. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? And I yesterday, when I couldn't sleep because I was so nervous, I thought about that, and I was like, can you imagine receiving an email where somebody says, oh, sign up for this person's thing and then take everything and then cancel? Would you become a customer of that person? Every single customer that buys from her after this email is a customer she deserves. Because can you imagine how they treat each other? Like, she will be stolen from for sure. Like, if this is her vibe, these will be her people, and bless her, she will deserve every single customer she gets from that. Okay. Yeah, so we talked about this also, the personal growth and development. The best way to learn is to teach. I really believe that if you, we all come with some experiences and prerequisites when we go through a personal transformation, right? And then sometimes we can give ourselves a little bit too much credit, right? We can say, oh, I did that, so now I know how this works. And then another person comes and they come with different prerequisites as you are. And suddenly there need to be other gaps that need to be closed before this person can also have the transformation. So now you realize, oh, I thought it only takes these elements for the transformation, but now I see that I already brought the other ones. So now let me explain how I brought those other ones so I can close the gaps of this person. And then another person comes and they have a few different gaps again. So now you realize, oh, I also brought this prerequisite to make it happen. Well, let me conceptualize that again and also give it to that person. So the more you teach and the more you help others to go through the same transformation, the more competent you'll get in creating that transformation reliably for others. Right? And this is when you become a true expert, when you have signature frameworks and methodologies that work for people in general if they follow that advice. And that's, I think, for me was so uplifting and so fulfilling that I know I have a system and it's reliable and I'm able to get people results. Once that actually clicked, my business was also exploding because now I show up from a much more confident place, right? So when you, over time, like for coaching mini membership method, for example, I didn't directly advertise it in the beginning, right? I just rolled it out to my members and I worked the heck out of it to get people results. But once I started to get results, with every single member that launched successfully, I was like, okay, the system is working. Okay, the system is working. Okay, the system is working. So I got more and more convinced in my tools over time. And then eventually I started to be more vocal about it and more confident and more vocal about it, and more people sign up until the point where I'm now running ads directly to this offer and I'm spending $800 a day profitably selling this offer, right? And it's a huge revenue driver for my business as well. But the confidence came over time, and it only came because I was able to help so many people. And this is what memberships also do for us. They create this confidence in our methodologies, and they really help us to learn how to create predictable results. And of course, you also have a lot of networking opportunities. So when you have memberships and you are the front figure and you bringing value to the table, every single one of your members has connections. They all see you. They all see how you show up, and you have doors opening that you didn't even know existed. There's so many opportunities. For example, one of the doors that opened for us was the collaboration with Netta from No Hassle website. She was brought actually to our attention by one of our coaches. And because she saw the membership, she was like, I would love to work with you guys. And she created for us a proprietary system to have funnels and memberships on WordPress as a one-time solution, not a software as a system solution. And that contact to Netta and her incredible team, it only happened, for example, through the memberships. I get daily podcast requests. I could do so many joint ventures. Or for example, recently we did for our members a beautiful monthly content. When we talk about how to create content in a way that is sustainable and not exhaust you too much, there's always the opportunity to bring on content from others, right? So for example, for this month, we were able to go into a joint venture with Dama. She has a super wildly successful course about how to create Google Doc workbooks that are on brand and fillable and easy to create. And she gave a deal for our members to get the whole course 100% off, right? So that could, if I didn't want, I already have something on my mind that I want to create in addition, right? But if I didn't have anything on my mind that I want to create in addition, this month of content would be done for me, right? And this is also the opportunity of having your membership, is like you can start to network and you can really start to leverage other people's knowledge and networks for your own membership. And with that also, with a membership, after a while, of course, it takes really effort to initially get it up and running. But once you've kind of proven yourself, you can pick and choose how hard you want to have it this month or how easy you want to have it, right? So for example, I want to take 3 weeks off in June because I'll fly to Canada, and I'll also bring my dad this time, and we want to do some family trips. So I'll take 3 weeks off of working completely. So Jessel will be so kind and give a guest training, and I'll just have those spots where I have the calls filled by somebody else, and I'll just be out for 3 weeks. So you can also take breaks, and you can decide for yourself how much you want to contribute, or if you want to bring on qualified guest experts. And the bigger your membership gets, the more attractive you are for, even more qualified, amazing experts. Okay, so I skimmed through the terminology cheat sheet. In the meantime, Jessa, do you have something on your mind? Do you ever work?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't realize that you were bringing your dad to Canada. That's so cute.
Yeah, that's why I want off, because I want to spend time and I want to show him like Victoria Islands and all of those stuff. Do you ever work with guest experts?
I do, and they're amazing. They're amazing, and it's funny because like you start a membership thinking you have to be an expert in everything, and then as you sort of go along and you grow, you're like, oh wait, I don't have to be an expert in Pinterest. I had Magdalena, who was incredible. She came and spoke in my membership the week before Easter, and it enabled me to take 2 weeks off. So I had a week off and then a week off for Easter. So she came, covered for me. My members loved it. The content was incredibly relevant, and now it's like an asset in my portal as well. So yeah, I love it. I will definitely be doing it again in future.
That's so cool. And see, now I also asked Jessa, or Jessa shared that actually in our mini membership method group. So now I'm actually also, I already have the link. I'll book a paid session with her, and I also try to bring her on for Coach Growth Hub because she did so well. So then, over time it really becomes easier, because you can also, if somebody made like a good experience, they can share it with the community, and then you kind of know, okay, who is a trusted expert. And yeah, I think that's really, really so cool.
It is so cool. It's very much like a hive mind in mini membership method, the group, because everyone just shares everything. I love it.
Yeah. And do you drop new content every single month? Do you think it's necessary? What would you do if you would feel like burned out for a month or something? Because we had, I asked people, what's your number one question about memberships? And a lot of people were like, well, I'm afraid that I burn out, that I would not be able to sustain it. What would you tell those people?
So I think like it's very much like being a mum. You need to put your self-care up there as well as work, and you need to look after yourself, because if you don't look after yourself and you are burning out, then you're not really helping anyone. You can't really help your members if you're kind of lying in bed shivering and just be like, I can't do this. So you need to make sure that you are if you are feeling burnt out, that you're sensitive to that and you take some time. And there's some ways that I personally do it in my membership. Like we are a very resource heavy membership, so we have lots of templates and resources that we drop. I have a beautiful team who helps me create a lot of them. And what we can do as well is we schedule them out. So we schedule the Facebook posts, we schedule the WordPress in the back end, and they automatically will drop. So that is a great relief of pressure. And yeah, you don't have to. You're not locked into anything. It's your membership. If you don't feel like you can do a training that month, I think your members are very, very understanding. Mine certainly are, and they are happy to wait for quality training as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this so much. I did a while back. Now it's not necessary anymore, but I actually still do it. So 1 week a month, I basically have my CEO week. I started this last year in August when we officially announced it. So there was a transition period where I would still be first answering questions daily, and eventually my team started to take over. And then I would just, have my weekly group coaching calls. And then I started to take weeks off where I could just work on the business in the background. And that was typically a specific week of the month. The ladies know, because in that week I would usually feel like not good at all, and it would be so hard for me to show up. So I was like, let me just structure it in a way where I can function better. So that was a first huge relief. And now I still have kind of the CEO week. And in the beginning of my memberships, I would always say, oh, every new content is dropped at the 15th. I just removed that. Sometimes there's no new content dropped this month, but next month there is a bigger one. So I really stopped setting myself deadlines for when I drop a certain specific thing. I build anticipation. I show when I'm working on something, but when it's done, it's done. I don't function that way, that I can rinse, like you would do it with a wet towel. I can squeeze it out of myself, but the quality is not there. So
It's a horrible analogy.
yeah, no, but when I had that set deadline, when it needs to be done, that was the feeling, and that was also the quality, and that's not a place I can create from. I have creation sprints where I'm like, I have so many ideas and I feel myself, and same goes with my organic content. Like I have sprints where I have so much to say and so much to share, And then I have times where I just want to be in my snail shell and I just want to be alone, and I can very organically give myself that. And that's also what memberships allowed me to do. I can kind of go very intuitively with how I feel today. Does that make sense? Is it the same for you?
Well, I think I've sort of bared witness to your transformation, because when I met you, you held on to things very tightly and you did basically everything. You were doing all the calls every week. You were doing all the membership questions in all the memberships, and you were
True.
just like, everything, everything's on Evelyn's plate. And you've gradually built your team out. You've got a beautiful team who supports you now. And I think you kind of were forced to let go of some things. And then when you drop them, you're like, everything didn't fall apart. Is everything still okay? And it was
Yeah.
just such a learning experience for you. And like when you're starting out, you do hold on to things really, really tightly, and it does feel like it will fall apart if you do let go. So, yeah.
That's so good that you said that, because there was I struggled to build teams before. I was always like a leader. As a team leader, I when I had this first job where I was just coming in as somebody who does product descriptions, I very fast grew into a responsible role. Even when I was working as a waitress, I very fast grew into a role with more responsibility. No matter where, then I was a head of marketing and sales, head of e-commerce. And it's just when you are a person that likes to take on responsibility, then companies typically love to put you in this role because they see, oh, you care. So suddenly, everybody starts to consult you, everything lands on your table. So I always was kind of the head of something, but I never formally, outside of my studies, kind of learned how to build or lead a team. So I was very much like perfectionist and a little bit controlling. So it didn't work, right? And when we had the business that grew so fast, there was also quite a few hiccups in the team. And I was like, working with a team is the worst thing ever. But online, I can be a solopreneur and I can automate everything. And then it's just me and I don't have to deal with people, which is awesome. So, and then you realize, like, over time, this is exactly what I need to learn. And what happened was that I started to actually hire I saw potential in the memberships, and then I started to hire from the memberships out. And the first person that I really put my trust into was Cheryl. She was also a member, and like she just didn't disappoint. Like when she committed, she was there, and I was like, oh, maybe it's no. Actually, it started first with Jessa. Cheryl was on an hourly basis. I didn't let Cheryl properly in. I was not giving her more. I was not giving her responsibility. I was faster answering the question. I was like, oh, let me answer this before Cheryl gets it, because I want to make sure that it's all on point. So I was like really perfectionist. I didn't give space. I didn't give any space, or I held on to responsibility like my life depended on it. And then I had Jessa, and you also know how I was holding on to the sales pages and everything, but she just came like with a proactive thing. Is like, don't you want to have this? It's really beautiful. I was like, it's really beautiful. I would love to have it. So I was like, okay, maybe I don't need to do design myself anymore, right? Because, like, let's be honest, she's much more skilled than me in this, and then I can let go of this. So I let go of this, and suddenly I was like, holy cow, I'm 10 times faster now because I'm not designing anymore, and it looks better. Aha. Well, would that also work with community support? And then I was like, maybe I need to make space with Cheryl, but I actually need to talk with her if she wants to commit. At that point in time, I felt like she's not committed. I didn't see that she was demotivated because I was taking up so much space, right? So I didn't see that. Then I was like, can you commit? Like, absolutely so blind. Sometimes we don't have any self-reflection. So I was like, can you commit? She was like, yeah. And then she completely showed me how capable she is. And then I was hooked. Then this part was going really well, much better than I could. That part was going really well, much better than I could. I was like, oh, now I can do most of the time what I'm actually good at. Wait a second, this is so much more fun and fulfilling, and now everything goes easy. So we started to build our team. We hired from the inside out, from within the memberships, which is so beneficial because people know the memberships in and out. They resonate with your values. They a lot of the like education is done already because they typically went through the portal and they kind of know how things work. So yeah, it was really, really good. And you wouldn't see this growth without my team for sure. So I want to send out like a huge thank you to all the team at this point.
Your team's pretty special. I remember as well on that coaching call, I think like my memberships had taken off a little bit, so they weren't brand new. They had some revenue coming in, and I was like, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how to keep in control of everything. It's starting to feel like it's snowballing, and I don't feel like I can let go of anything because I don't feel like I can trust anything to do it as good as what I would assume that I would do it. When really we don't realize how terrible we are at a lot of jobs. Because we're trying to do everything and we're spread too thin. So it might feel like it's better when we're doing it because we're in control. But your advice was to do it sooner than later, and you wish that you had. And I listened to you. I put on my very first team member who's still with me, and that's Liz. She's an absolute superstar. And yeah, I'm so grateful for that advice because you completely saved me. It was the right time to do it.
Yeah, and that's also so interesting, right? It goes from there's no engagement to like it when it starts, it goes really fast up in engagement. So you will go from this is not going, my membership needs to grow, to my membership is growing too fast, what should I do? So it's like this really fine line, and you can start with somebody on an hourly basis from within your membership, right? We just hired again for $25 an hour, which I think it's also quite affordable. And in the beginning, when it starts to take off, you might just need a few hours in addition to really free you up, and then you can expand as you grow and really build your team from there. So but I think it's so fun because what you said, I don't think we're like terrible at things. I think I always thought I need to be better at certain things. So I thought, I'm not a very structured person. I really need to get better at accounting. I really need to get better at organizing. I really need to get better at team communication. And now I realize, well, I have my strength in a different area. And I actually really don't need to get better at anything. I need to have people that are good at team communication, accounting, so that I am freed up to do where I am having an unfair advantage, right? So everybody needs to put in a place where they have an unfair advantage, and this is when you can create real leverage.
I love that so much. Yeah. It's such a game changer. And for me, I can function really highly for a period of time, and then someone will get sick in my house and my whole family will go down for weeks. And that's when I find that just if I was managing everything by myself, it would completely crash and burn. So I know now having a team is important for that as well.
Absolutely. The first role I would hire would be a hybrid role. It would be somebody from within my membership, and I would first give them the emails to answer, handle cancellations, and take off group support off my plate for a couple days a week. That would be the first thing that I would do, because first off, the couple of days will give you headspace for content creation and building out your funnels. And second off, I think you should get away from handling cancellations as soon as you can. In the beginning, the crippling thing is like when you see the first cancellation coming in, and it's normal, right? We talked about churn rate and how our aim for the first year should be to get below 20%. So that means after you launch, very soon you'll have your first cancellation. And what it did for me was every day where I would receive a cancellation, self-doubt would kick in. I would question everything. I would feel not good enough. And it gets you into a headspace of like a downward spiral. And when you don't see the cancellations and you just know, oh yeah, churn rate, that's normal, but you're not necessarily directly confronted with it, it just helps you to stay in a positive space. And a lot of this is really being able to manage yourself and your emotions really well. Of course, you should take feedback into consideration, but I can tell you right now what the feedback will look like. It's either it's not enough content or it's too overwhelming. And that will be like for most people in the beginning why they churn. And there is not a good way for you to speed that up. You can just do it, and over time it will get better. But when you see the email, right, and you're like, I already tried so hard, and now I wasn't fast enough to update the content how I wanted, and now I lost this person. It just destroys your mood and energy for nothing, right? You go as fast as you go. It just takes time to build a high quality product, which your membership is. And that this would be the first role that I would definitely hire.
Yeah, I see cancellation. I'm like, my heart's broken forever. Why are you leaving?
It's so hard. Like even right now, the other day I was opening the email and then I accidentally saw like from a member I know, I know my members, like, but I have interacted with in a lot of coaching calls, and I was like, why is she leaving me? No, what did I do wrong? I don't understand it. So I was like, okay, no, Evelyn, you need to get out of cancellations. Don't even think about it. Because but I also want to tell you, like, so many of my members left, came back, left, came back, left, came back, and now staying for good. It's okay that people take time to really commit to what you have to offer, because sometimes when we're in the dip, when things go slower, we might look left and right and we'll be like, that looks like a nice shiny object. Evelyn asked me to work really hard, so let me see if this is a quicker solution. So go for the quicker solution, spend a couple months, come back. And it's something very similar will happen to you in your membership. Do you have returning members, Jessa?
All the time. You just need to be in business long enough to see them come back. So
yeah. So this will be the very first rules, probably. Okay, so now we have the Clarity for Profits workbook. As you might have read between the lines of our conversation, this will not be a get rich quick kind of thing, right? This is not the promise. So you need a really strong why and full clarity on your why, so that you are able to build this membership empire, because you need to have something to hold on when that first cancellation comes in. So I tell you a little bit about our members' whys. They did that to create monthly recurring income from the passion and to help others with the magic in an easy and affordable price. They like the overviewable way of getting clients while being a value contribution to the change that they want to make at the same time. Number one reason is to serve so many more dog moms. I thought that was beautiful. Community, being a change agent. There's so many beautiful answers to this from our members, and I actually took the time to screenshot it. Oh, by the way, we just talked about our beautiful team. So all of these people here are Team Evelyn in the group right now. So if somebody answers your comments, they are from Team Evelyn, and those are the beautiful coaches that support me. So last year in May, it was just Cheryl. So we grew pretty quickly, and I'm so grateful for every single soul in here. And Cheryl just created this, so I'm also very grateful she did that. Here you can see all the different reasons as to it's 11 pages of screenshots as to
Evie, I don't think we can see your screen. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to.
I think it was sharing. What did I share now?
It was just the workbook.
Oh my goodness, you guys! Sorry about that. I need to get used to screen share everything. So just quickly coming back. This is my beautiful team, and this is Cheryl, who I just said. Cheryl is now my operations manager. She's my number one and number two in the business. So she is number one in the team. All the communication goes for her. She organizes everything. She's actually a certified copywriting and messaging expert. I personally think her strength is really in systems, team management, communication. She does that so well and so much better than I do. When she went to take a few days off the last time, I caused chaos. So I'm so grateful to have her. And yeah, for all the other members, Sarah is the main coach in Coaching Membership Method. Angelique just got promoted, and now she supports Cheryl with processes. This is really her strength. She's so good at that. She also does our onboarding calls. Jackie was mainly in Coach Growth Hub first, and now she also does Funnels and Ads Pro. Our members love her. She's our community mama, and she's such a soul. I don't even know how to describe it. Monique has been in Coaching Mini Membership Method, beautiful member, and she also helps me with my social media right now. Then we have Monique Elario. She does all the emails, all the cancellations. Absolute lifesaver. I would be really totally lost without Monique. It's insane. She's so proactive, set up Zendesk, and is so efficient. Jen and Adela, they are certified copywriting experts, and they do all the copy reviews for our Funnels and Ads Pro and mini membership method members. So reviewing their sales pages and email sequences. And yeah, both absolutely fantastic and so grateful to have them. That was a little sidetrack, but this grew over time, right? And it started with Cheryl on an hourly basis. And yeah, then I want to, ideally, I'd love for you to read through those people and their reason for why they wanted to have a membership. And I think it's really worth reading through it. A lot of it is the desire to serve people at scale, while, you know, not putting all, to charge a price that feels more aligned, to be able to have a creative outlet, to kind of funnel people into one place and not always be busy selling. So those are kind of the common themes that we see. And I just want to share with you my 5 reasons why I personally think it's the best model for selling information online. I believe that memberships are the future. I think that the market has been oversaturated with high ticket hype, and a lot of, I don't have anything against high ticket coaching at all, as long as it's a real genuine expert and they're helping people. But there have been so many fake gurus and so many people have been burned that it just threw a negative image on the whole industry. The organic reach on platform declines and advertisement costs rise from year to year. So you need smarter ways to acquire customers and maximize your customer lifetime value. Otherwise, only Google and Facebook win. So when I was running ads for high ticket coaches, they sometimes spend $1,000 to acquire a $1,500 customer. But then you also need to serve. So that was just going all into ad spend. So there needs to be, or for a webinar, right? We're selling a $1,000 course on the webinar and we spend $750 to get the sale. Who wins? Only Facebook wins. The coach doesn't win, and the person buying the course for $1,000 also doesn't win. People are also tired of hearing contradicting things from countless experts, and they would love to be, you know, not in a program once or book a few hours. They really want to be in the world of somebody that they can be on the journey with. Ultimately, the membership model is, I think, the fairest model. It serves the niche reach problem. So if you have a painkiller solution to a very specific problem, you can normally charge a premium, right? Now, here's the problem, that your potential client base for this big solution will be small. So that means that usually you have to spend a lot of money and or time to reach the right type of people. So you have very high customer acquisition cost. Ultimately, you have a low profit and your client has to pay a lot, which is typically when you have to promise unrealistic outcomes to get the sales. And this is, I think it's, you know, I'm not even blaming the individuals. I'm blaming the system that they have, right? So they almost have to factor in their high customer acquisition cost because they also need to make a profit. And if you know, if it's ongoing coaching, let's say you spend $1,000 to acquire a $2,000 coaching client, and then you have 6 months of coaching. If you calculate your hourly rate there, of course it has to cost that, right? So it's the system, the model is unfavorable for both sides from my beliefs. And I've worked with high ticket coaches. Like I said, if you look at their revenue numbers are exceptional, right? But look at the bottom line and what they have at the end of the day. One of my members, the one that switched to high ticket coaching actually, and then switched back to memberships, she actually had it both parallel. So she had her membership running, but she felt like, oh, I'm not making enough money, so I need to introduce a high ticket. To deliver the high ticket, she needed a sales system, she needed closers, she needed a team to deliver it. And you know what she told me? She's literally at a loss with the high ticket. Not only do the people call her in the night and call her a scam because they think that, you know, now they bought her soul and she needs to fix everything. I don't know how she marketed it, but probably she had high promises. But she's actually not even making money with this. And this is kind of the fallacy that a lot of coaches, I think, are stepping into. Of course, For many, a way out is the direct messaging because it only quote unquote costs you time. But how does it feel to send, like, I'm not a numbers game person. Like I cannot say, well, I'm sending like 1,000 hey girl, hey messages a day, and a few people that haven't been burned before will fall into my trap. I don't know. I don't want to chase. I want to be chased. So yeah, and it's more fear because the old way is just too cost intensive. And what ends up happening is that people also then are desperate to sell, which is when they sell to everyone and also to people that are not a good fit for the high ticket program yet, right? So they will just tell everyone that, yeah, this can also work for you. And then people obviously cannot get results. So the membership model actually splits the risk fairly, in my opinion, because instead of charging the whole customer lifetime value upfront, putting all the risk on the client, you are now charging on a monthly basis. And on a monthly basis, the client can say, yes, this still adds value to my life, which ultimately also is really, really good for you long term, because first off, the first model destroys your reputation over time and your customer acquisition cost will be higher and higher and higher. I saw this for the coach that I was running ads for her challenges as well. Every challenge, her leads would get more and more and more and more expensive, up to the point where it would cost $15 to get one challenge lead. For perspective, I paid around €3.78 for a challenge lead right now. But her cost would go up and up and up. She had no word of mouth, no positive reputation working for her. Rather the opposite, more like negative recommendations working against her. So why would I say? Oh yeah. So but for you, when you give so much more than people are used to for a smaller price, you actually have the positive word of mouth working for you. So now when many of the people that see my ads have heard from me before in a Facebook group, they're like, oh, this is this Evelyn girl, right? This is this membership girl. So they already have a positive opinion. That really helps me with my conversion rates and it helps me with my ads. I was able to scale my ad spend to $3,000 a day now. So after the challenge, it will be down to $2,000 again. But I'm spending this profitably. So acquiring a member, I'm breaking even in the first month. After that, everything is profit, except the service cost that I have. And I'm able to do that because I have so much positive word of mouth working for the memberships. So it's ultimately better for you long term. And it's also better for you long term to get an honest feedback about the value you provide. If you have a churn rate that's higher than 25%, it's good to know that people aren't happy with what you deliver, because that way you can improve it, right? And that way you know what to work on. So it's a much, much better feedback system for you and for your business long-term as well. And ultimately what you want to have, I hope, is a long-term profitable business, sustainable business that leaves you happy and your customers happy. I think that's much more fulfilling than burning one person after the other and looking where your next victim will be. Fit. So with a membership, you can attract more people that are a good fit for your membership and also for the offers you might have behind. So I consider all those $777 for a full year of coaching, access to the course, and to all the materials, I think is on the lower end. But still, it's a back-end offer, and I want only people in there that are a good fit. So right now I'm having a challenge, and I'm throwing all these things at you that make you think like, okay, this is a little bit harder than I thought. And you know what? I actually love that. I only want people to join me in the mini membership method that have a clear picture of what this journey looks like, because I only want satisfied customers, right? How can I afford to do this challenge so honestly and to so bluntly tell you what this looks like, although this might negatively affect my conversion rate? Because I don't need your purchase. I make more than enough from the memberships, and I can just sieve through enough people so I reach enough of the ones that are ready to do the work. And that's a good thing, right? I can wait until I have people that are a good fit. And that's good because A, it allows you to grow more profitable at scale and reach those people. And B, it doesn't drive you nuts to work with people that aren't a good fit. Because I tell you, not all money you receive is the same. If you have money from people that aren't a good fit, it will be a terrible process serving them. If you have people that are an excellent fit and that come into your course, to your coaching program with the right mindset, it's a joy, right? So we want people that are a good fit because it's good for us, it's good for the business, it's good for the people. And with the membership model, we can afford to reach enough people to have the ones sticking that are a good fit, right? And we don't need to do things that are not aligned. And it's better for everyone. Everyone wins again. And I think, yeah, it's not only better from a moral perspective, it also protects your energy and sanity. Ultimately, this gives you a lot of freedom. When you do it right, having a multi-tiered coaching membership allows you to automate your customer acquisition. So while I'm here on the call with you, I probably got sales. Let me see. So I got while I was talking in, the last 30 minutes, I had 3 new customers. This is the power of doing it right, is your customer acquisition can be fully automated. You can get paid to create content and you can help people at scale. You make a bigger impact and a bigger income at the same time, which ultimately leads to financial stability. We talked about this feast and famine cycle. I do not ever want to have one big customer again I'm dependent on. I want to be at the point where I'm like, somebody cancels, I do not care. Of course, I will always care, like on a conceptual level, I always care about the satisfaction of every single customer. But if a single customer, or even if 10% of my customers cancel tomorrow, it doesn't affect my life quality anymore. When I had my agency and I would lose a client, my life was shaken, right? And I got put into scarcity. This is not happening anymore. I don't have a roller coaster. I'm completely independent, for example, also how this launch will go, right? Because it will literally not make a difference. My members are there. So there's a lot of stability. It's a really good model for everybody who struggles with anxiety, everybody who wants stability, that everybody who misses being an employee and having that knowledge that every single month you'll get money onto your account. It's that, but with the opportunity to give yourself a raise every month if you do it right? And again, it's not easy, but that's also okay. So next portion is finding out your deepest why. Before that, I want to go back to Jessa.
Oh. Did you have a question for me?
Did I catch you off guard?
Did you ask me a question? What's my why? You just got me shot.
Yeah, what's your why? That was my question all the time. You just said it first, but I already thought of that.
Okay. Credit to you then.
Why?
My why, I obviously came from an agency model as well, and then I was selling digital products on Etsy, and it fluctuates throughout the year, especially my wedding stationery businesses. Like when COVID hit, everything overnight disappeared. We had refunds coming from all the couples who obviously couldn't do their weddings anymore. We lost like 100% of our customer base overnight. So that was the real moment that I was like, I really need to find something which is like not all my eggs in the Etsy basket, which is where I was selling 100% of my products, and make sure I'm building additional streams of income. And my passion with my memberships is that I love teaching people how to build, like, it doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be a side hustle, which is enough to take the pressure off. And for me, like, it was like that having that side hustle, it gives you so much more freedom to be creative. It like helps you breathe again. It gives you time to, I guess, not sit there working in anxiety and not spending time with your kids because you feel like you just have to hustle. So yeah, my why is to kind of teach people, I guess, how to I guess gain the skills to be able to make money online. And it doesn't have to be in a big way. It just has to be in a sustainable, small way.
I love that.
What about you? Has it changed over time? Because you've had your membership for ages now.
It definitely has changed. I want to be completely transparent. In the beginning, my main driver was I need to find a way to survive with Danny, because at that point I had the big payout, right? And I bought a flat, and the big payout was not all in my account. So my former business partner still owed me 70,000 euros, and I was calculating with that money, and he refused to pay, although he would owe me that. So now I was like having to get a lawyer to kind of get that money, and I didn't know when it would come. And I'm a very proud person, so of course I could have asked family or something for support, but I didn't want that. So the first like initial driver really for me was, I need to figure out a way where I can be with my baby and at the same time figure out this income situation for us. That was kind of the first driver. And of course, I cared about serving people and I loved like helping. And then over time, as when the community really kicked in, I was like, oh, this is what it's like to have people. I think I'm always like have been like a little bit of a lone wolf. So I got like I was teased a lot in school and everything because I had pretty good grades, but it was just coming kind of naturally to me. And so I was always like a little bit of a more lonely person, like more, I had very small circle of friends, always been quite selective with that. And then when I had my membership, it was like the first time, and I thought that I never had like a lot of people I could talk about like my big visions and all the ideas that I had. So I would feel like I would bore people with that quite a bit. And then when I had my membership, I was like the first time this was like, I have people now, and I have people that are like interested in what I have to share. And it was like this, the first time it was like, I don't know, having this sense of belonging. So that was really, really driving me. And then what I also experienced through this whole like phase after my son was born and so many things shifted in my life, I realized like my theme for life right now is growth. And then this personal growth that I have to go through, and this deep inner work that I have to do on myself. So this became really my theme. So this, I am my whys. I am on a growth journey for myself and for my family and for my members, and I just document the process. So I think that's my why, and it feels like so fulfilling. I don't know if that makes sense.
I love it so much. I wish we were friends in primary school. I wish I could like go into like a time machine and be like, "Hi, Evelyn, let's be friends."
Jess and I, we must have some like, I don't know, connection, but there's so many like weird coincidences of things we like so independently from each other, but might also be because we're the same age. So I don't know. We have like a crush on each other, if you have not noticed it by yet.
That's why I'm smiling. People are talking about it in the chat. That's why I'm smiling. I'm happy to be here with Evie.
Oh, I'm so grateful you're helping me with this. Everything also became a lot easier with Jessa. Like everything becomes a lot easier when you're surrounded with people who see you and support you and believe in you. And when we also talked about members and not being always able to show up, when I announced my CEO days, I was afraid how my members would react. They were celebrating me for doing that. They were like, yeah, Evelyn, take good care of yourself. We love that. I was like, what? But then I'm not helping you. Yeah, take good care of yourself. So I was yeah. It's just when you look out for people, they look out for you, or the right ones do. And this is also why. That's also why. So finding your deepest why. This is the workbook. I would love for you to print it out or note it down somewhere for you. Just grab a blank paper and just answer those questions. What does having a successful membership mean to you? Not just in terms of financial gains, but also in terms of personal growth and fulfillment. Why are you willing to invest a significant amount of time and energy in building and growing your membership, even in the face of challenges and setbacks? How does this opportunity align with your long-term goals and values? What is the deepest purpose behind your desire to lead a paid community? How does it relate to your unique skills, experiences, and passion? And what kind of impact are you hoping to make through your membership through your membership, both on your members and the world at large? And then we would want to define your core beliefs and values. But I would love for you to journal through these questions. So I want to give you something here. When we ask questions like this, it's important to know that we don't have to have the answers, okay? And that it's completely fine if those things shift over time. So our brain always works for us, right? Even when we are focused on something else, and putting those right questions on there and saying, and then also releasing it and saying, brain, we need to think about this. Writing it really, really is helpful because it helps you to capture your thoughts. That's the process we're looking for. I don't want you to get desperate over it and find the perfect answers, but I want you to deeply think about it, note down your thoughts, and then, in a few days from now, maybe revisit it with a coffee again. But it absolutely makes sense. It's like a signature thing I do on a daily basis, just asking myself the right questions. And then I would love for you to write down your vision and values. We're building value-based memberships on all levels. So you would want to define your core values and beliefs and list them down to make your life a little bit easier. I have done this, of course, for my memberships, and I've noted down my core values and beliefs. This is also something my new team members always get first, because this is kind of the foundation for how we show up, right? So we always go above and beyond, and we give it our all. Our members deserve the best support. I don't want to bore you like reading through all of this, but I would love for you to go through it, because I also know that beliefs is what shapes our actions, and this is basically our operation system. So if we have the right beliefs, we will take the right action. This is what I really have learned to be true. So I would love for you to kind of check out them, and based on what I share here, go in and say, okay, well, what is true for me? What would I like to modify? What would I like to change? So for example, we believe that the world is abundant and that we will never run out of solutions to create and opportunities to learn from, grow with our clients and support them. So just go through them. I think there might be a lot that are valid for many memberships. When you go through them, start with a clear goal and objective. You would want to identify the primary goal or objective for your memberships. Oh, this is here. I think this should be just here. So informed by those core beliefs and values, we would want to write a short, brief vision for every membership we want to bring to life. We'll talk about different tiers in a second, but here you can also see my vision for each of my communities. So for example, Coach Growth Hub, the vision is we're on a mission to help over 10,000 coaches and course creators to lay the foundation for a thriving one-to-one online coaching business. Our goal is to see them fully booked, making a living from their passion of helping others and love every minute of it. Funnels and Ads Pro, we want to lift 5,000 plus members to new heights by scaling their business with automated funnels and Facebook ads. We help them gain more time and independence in their marketing efforts so they can focus on what they truly love, serving clients, crafting their signature frameworks and methodologies, and enjoying the freedom to set their own schedules and workloads. And then, so this is basically the scaling away from the one-to-one model. And then specifically for the membership model is the coaching mini membership method. So each year we cheer on 500 plus students as they build their own memberships from the ground up. They'll start by replacing one-to-one supplementary work with membership income so they can put their heart and soul into expanding their community empire. We'll empower them to touch lives on a grand scale, creating an amazing life for themselves by helping so many people and sharing their unique gifts in a truly scalable way. Ultimately, we're all about creating the most vibrant, supportive membership owner mastermind for coaches and course creators with big, caring hearts who also want to live the life of their dreams on their own terms. This is the vision for Coaching Mini Membership. So I would love for you to really go through those core values and beliefs and then craft a vision like this for your membership. And when you do, you would want to start with a specific goal. Then you would want to be very specific about the kind of impact you want to make. You want to focus on the benefits for your members. Use positive and uplifting language. Keep it concise and easy to understand. And of course, be authentic and genuine, right? You would want to write this from your heart so it really captures your true why and passion behind it. Oh, and then we have the vision and values. So this is a fun one. Jessa, do you maybe want to quickly show the brand boards that we have brought?
I would love to. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, that's shared. Would you be able to add it to the screen, Evie?
Absolutely. There you go.
Okay, so we have created 5 beautiful brand boards that you guys can use to help you kind of I find that with branding, it is a really great way to help you imagine what your membership could be like, because you kind of get a different feel from something visual. Like you have the colors there, you have kind of the things that are going to appeal to the people. So putting it into a brand is a really fantastic way to get a really great visual of where you're headed. So we've provided 5 brands for you. We've got the luxury one here, and we've got color palettes, logo variations. We've got the modern version.
I love them all so much.
Look at the playful one, which is like very soft and colorful. So that one would be a great one if you're doing sort of like a family orientated membership or something with activities or something like that. The elegant one, and then the boho one. And included in all of them as well, we've made you a group banner and a ad, like little posts. So you can use these, change the logo. These all link through, you can, they should link through. That one doesn't, but I'll fix it. Oh, the links are on the
I also shared all the links. You should have them in the posts, everyone.
Oh, yeah, they're in the post as well. Oops. I'll go and fix that link though. So where's the post? So yeah, they're just down.
A little bit down there.
There they are.
Yeah.
So you can see all of the links to individual ones are there as well. So every single brand board has a matching sort of social media announcement that you can use as like an ad or an Instagram or on Facebook, and also has a beautiful Facebook banner that you can put on your group. So you can walk away with a fully branded membership.
I love that so much. Thank you so much for those. So Jessa contributed those also here, and I'm so grateful for them. They should help you because the kind of next exercise that I would love you to do as a homework until tomorrow, ideally, is to lean into that vision and really try to also visualize it. So you'd want to find a quiet space and then think about what colors represent your membership, how will these colors make you and your members feel, what vibe do you want to have in your membership? Is it cozy? Is it professional? Is it fun? Or is it something else? How do you want to feel showing up as a membership owner? How do you want to be seen do you want to be seen as a leader, as a mentor, as a guide, as a friend, somebody who's on the journey? I always want to be seen as my members as just somebody who is kind of walking with them, enthusiastically paving the way. So I really want to see them kind of as when they get tired, I want to pull. When they feel like it's not worth it, I want to show that it is. So I just want to every day inspire and touch them. What's your theme for the membership? Is it growth, like for me, or is it transformation, or is it community, or what is it, right? Try to put a name on it. What's the theme for you personally with your membership? Is it empowering you? Is it about authenticity? Is it about creativity or about something else? For me, it's very strongly about authenticity. I feel like also the memberships give me more and more permission to be myself, because I keep showing up more and more as myself, and like people are still not running away, which was my initial thought. Or, like the limiting beliefs is like, oh, if people would truly know how I'm not good enough, then they would all like see what kind of imposter I am and run away. So this still didn't happen. So I'm starting to really trust that people like me for who I am, which is why this is kind of the theme for me. It's peeling back the onion layers of who I'm not and really allowing myself to shine through. And it's so healing that this is well received. What's the one word you want to okay, what's the one word you want your membership to represent? How does the one resonate with your goals and values? What are the emotions you want to associate with your membership? Is it joy, fulfillment, inspiration, or is it something else? What are the emotions you want people to associate with your membership? Is it trust, excitement, motivation, or something else? For me, it's definitely those two. It's trust and excitement. So make your notes, and yeah, this is something to take time. Again, you don't need to have all the answers, but it's worth learning to feel and to lean into that. Okay, so I will dive directly also into the membership models. Now that we have kind of the more value-based emotional side covered, let's talk about the actual models. So the way I see offers structured is I structure them in my mind always in two different buckets. One is the audience growing offers and one are the money-making offers. Please keep that in mind because this is important for how we grow our memberships in a very fast way without ever running into cash flow issues. The audience growing offers are strategic freebies, tangible deliverables like digital products, like planners or templates, online workshops, mini courses, and mini memberships. Yeah, mini memberships are not money-making offers. They're actually just audience growing offers. And then we have money-making offers, which are one-to-one coaching, group coaching programs, flagship courses, and the main membership. The difference between these offers is that the first category is purely there to ensure and ideally cover your audience growth so you reach enough people, and the other offers are there to actually generate a profit and income for you. The right model will depend on where you are in the journey, and this we start from the most beginner friendly one to the most advanced one. For most beginners, it will make sense to first have one single main membership, right? Many of my members, and you should know what it is by terminology cheat sheet. A single main membership is a membership priced at ideally first launch round $27. And then depending on if it's related to making money or not, can either stay at 27 or be increased to 37 or 49. We wouldn't want to go higher than 49, otherwise it stops converting to cold traffic in a funnel. The second one, which is what most of my minimum membership method students feel drawn to just because they see me having both memberships, is a multi-tiered membership. So where you basically have the same content, you speak to the same ideal client, but you offer different levels of support. The third one, which is more challenging, is to have a real front-end and real back-end membership. So you have the same pricing structure with a membership price below $10 and a higher priced membership, but now each of those membership has a separate core curriculum, separate tangible deliverables, separate monthly content, and separate levels of support. So this is a lot more complexity now, which is not why it's not massively beginner friendly. But this could be the right option for you if you already have a single membership and you're looking for another audience growing offer to plug into. And then we have the mini membership plus OTO. So another option is when you already have a higher priced offer, like a one-to-one coaching or a course that is selling well, you could also plug a mini membership as your audience growing offer into that. And the advantage compared to a normal self-liquidating offer is, so a normal front-end offer is the higher average order value, and of course, the increased trust and connection through the community. And ultimately, the most complex one, which I'm having, is I have a main membership, which is the first one I had. I eventually plugged a mini membership into it after a year, seeing that I need to broaden my audience on top of funnel. This created a real front-end and real back-end membership. And because my members asked for it, I also created a flagship program, which is now the one-time offer in the back-end, which is the coaching mini membership method. And here you have in the workbook which model will be the right for you. Very likely, if you're starting out, it's either a single membership or the multi-tiered one. If you already have a membership, it will be very likely a real front end and real back end because you plug the mini in there. If you already have a higher priced offer that you're invested in and don't want to convert to a main membership, you can create a mini membership. And ultimately, it will be the most profitable if you have all of them in your business. But that can also be a process, right? It took me 3 years to have everything fully built out. And I'll be answering questions about this a little bit later on. But now I want to quickly dive into this sheet of taking on your new identity, which is kind of the last content piece, and then we're through. So what's necessary, and one of the quickest ways to see results, is to actually go through an identity shift. So to just identify as somebody else. And as a coaching tool that we have available for this is to create an alter ego. So I would love to invite you to meet your alter ego base and create an alter ego for you that is your successful membership self. You can give this a different name. It can be a nickname, but this is that version of you, that new version of you that is already a successful membership owner and that you can tap into at any point in time. You don't immediately have to become this person. You just have to know that this avatar is available for you to switch into and act as if you were this person whenever you're working on your membership. Okay, so this is one of the fastest ways to establish new behaviors and new habits that will serve you on this journey. What I would like you to do is here are the daily tasks of a successful membership owner, and here is the underlying beliefs that they have. I would love for you to let me just maybe first go through the daily tasks that we have. Okay, so I, on a daily basis, create content. I consistently produce free and paid content to provide value to my audience. I run Facebook ads every single day to grow my audience, email list, and memberships. I work on my funnels and automations. So I develop systems to automate my audience growth, my support, and my revenue generation. I document my processes every single day. So I use Loom and Tango to document everything I do so I can record those processes and either pass them on to my members or efficiently outsource tasks that not every task my member need to know, but I might want to outsource it to be more efficient. Audience management and support every single day. I'm supporting my audience, I'm answering questions, I'm giving feedback. Product development. So I use my members' needs to put the content I create into different containers and formats and repurpose it into front-end offers, for example. I work on launch strategies. So I plan to launch offers that are beneficial for my existing and hopefully future clients. And I continuously improve the memberships. I work on the portals, I update worksheets, etc. And every single day, I also do vision work and reflection work. So I use my daily self-management checklist every single day and a journal every single day to kind of refocus on doing the things that matter. Many people ask me how I am able to get so much done. The key to getting so much done was actually to do a lot less, but only the things that really pay into the vision and that will create a long-term leverage, like the tasks that I shared with you. So in order to take on your new identity, I would love for you to kind of say, okay, those are the tasks that I should be working on when I'm in my identity as a successful membership owner. Then you can go through my core beliefs here and you can see which are true for you and which ones you have to modify to be true for you. Take the best and try to take as much as you can while staying true to your values, because this is here to serve you, right, in growing. But of course, you have to make sure it fits your values. And then get a copy of my daily self-management checklist and journal prompts and go through that every single day until it feels like a second nature and you can tap into the successful membership owner self whenever you're working on your membership. And I just want to share quickly with you that I'm really walking my talk here. Here you can see this is my daily self-management worksheet. In the meantime, I also share it with Cheryl and with my personal assistant. And
are you sharing something other than the workbook?
Thank you so much.
That's what I'm here for.
So here you can see working on this sheet every single day to stay focused. So a really key is to every day do this vision and buy work, realigning, making sure to only work on what's actually important and moves the needle. Okay, I think we're through with the content. Yeah. Then it would be question time. I would love to structure it in the following way. I don't want to hold Jessa hostage for too long, but I also want to make sure to answer all questions. And I need 2 minutes to go somewhere. So what I would love to do is maybe quickly give the stage first to you, Jessa, to take some questions. And then I'll be right back and I take over and you are free to leave whenever you want. And I'll just sit here and answer questions until people run out of questions. Does that sound like a deal?
It sounds great. I don't think I can actually put the questions on the screen, but I can see them and read them out. So If you specifically have anything design related, I can read it out. Yeah, I can help you with anything.
Okay, perfect. You guys, do you have any questions for Jessa? Specifically? Then drop it in the chat.
That's the first time I've seen that alter ego training. That's so interesting. I'm going to go do it. It's really, I think it's so valuable.
It's just like a cheat code into shifting faster. Okay. So
do you want
Jessa,
to do the little question screen so people know when the questions start?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so first question, Jessa, I give the room to you for 1 minute and then I come back.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, if you are a beginner, what are some tasks that you should delegate to an assistant? So I definitely think that customer support is something that you should be, as you're doing it yourself, you should always be trying to figure out like what you're doing, the types of messages that you are sending. If you're sending something more than twice, then you should save it as a canned response. And then you can actually give that to someone else to start sending out in the future. So emails are a huge one. I have a beautiful, I don't know what I would call her, just a fairy godmother, Monique, who helps with our emails, and she's incredible. And I just know how much headspace and time getting someone on the forefront of answering questions and doing the cancellations and all of that. It's just so important. So for me, I would delegate specifically emails, and then I would also be working on training someone to help support in your memberships as well. That's one of the very first tasks that Liz took on for me when she came on board, and she was the very first person that came and joined Team Jessa. So she started in the groups and she started answering questions. And when you're like, you have a community, it starts off where you will answer the bulk of the questions still, and you'll sort of train whoever comes on board with you and is helping you. You'll train them as you go along, and they'll slowly, it'll go like this. They'll start to take more and more and more off your shoulders. So it's very cool. And yeah, those are the two things that I would definitely jump on first. Now, I can't put the question on the screen, but I can read it out. So template wise, is there a template bundle to launch a membership? So Evelyn has the most incredible templates in her memberships. She has heaps and heaps of social media and ads templates and all of that good stuff. I'm not sure if she has a front end bundle of templates. I'll have to double check with her, but she might. I'll double check with her.
Hi.
Hi.
What's the question?
Do you have a bundle of launch templates for a membership?
Yeah, absolutely. For a launch like this right now, we just actually updated it. So right now we have, let me show you, these are the so this is the whole launch process that we just updated. And it's a bootcamp launch, like or challenge launch, like just like we do right now. So those are the ones to basically fill up the launch. And there's also all the templates you would need like during the launch. Yeah, we have that, and that's in the live launch dashboard.
And is that funnels and ads or?
Yeah, that's also in funnels and ads. It's in both. Yeah.
Yeah, and even in Coach Growth Hub, I think you've got like a stream deck as well for launches, which is really cool. So
yeah, true. That's true. We have quite a few in Coach Growth Hub as well.
You've got so many templates.
This is just the latest resource updated for launching. Let me just see. 1 second. What else did we have? Wow, there are so many questions came in while I was. Where do you keep your unicorn, Jessa? Template-wise, is there a template bundle or to launch in the membership? Yeah. So this is the one. How do you know what to provide in a membership? So we will go over that tomorrow. It's actually a process we go through where we first define what's your transformation, and then we break down evergreen core content. From that, we develop the tangible deliverables, and that's kind of the first set of things to start with. And that's exactly the process that Jessa mentioned with the signature process. This is like okay, this is how we create this triangle of membership that we talked about in the beginning. So please don't worry, that's coming in the workbook tomorrow, and we do it in detail. How do I get better with my graphics easily, Jessa?
So there's a lot of people think that you have to kind of be born creative, which you definitely don't. It's just practice. So you can practice, you can go into Canva, you can dabble in the templates, you can buy templates as well. So there's lots of templates on Etsy. You can buy sort of big bundles of templates. And yeah, of course, Evelyn has lots of templates in her membership as well, which are very relevant to membership owners. So my best advice, if you are a little bit nervous about your graphics, it would be to do them in Canva, do the best that you can, and then present them to a community for feedback, and just ask for some honest feedback. And usually they'll just tell you what they think, and they'll tell you, a lot of the time it'll just be positive comments, and you can sort of get some insight into if they like the colors and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you just have to play around a lot with it until you kind of see what's working. And the other thing is templates. That's why we have the secret weapon, where we have a lot of templates, like all the workbooks, etc., done for members. And we see like a huge, spike of output, because now people don't have to think about all the placements and how to arrange things anymore. So I think templates is like the shortcut. Can you share more information about your new affiliate membership?
Well, I just launched it, and it doesn't teach how to create affiliate programs. It teaches how to use like affiliate marketing links to create extra revenue in your business.
I think that's so cool. I also have to go through it. Is it possible to edit that workbook? The one that we have right now is not possible to edit it, right?
Yeah, you can just print it out, or yeah, I don't think it's editable at the moment.
And
I think
we
it's
have
got
to
Canva
do it
Pro
next
Elements.
time. But just take a white paper and just write down the questions. I'm amazed at how quickly you are able to repurpose workbooks. How do us non-design? Okay, how? So I think how quickly we are able to produce the workbooks. I think here again, templates is a really good thing, or just checking out the training that Dama has with really good doing it in a Google Doc. How do you know when your brand colors really work?
So I'm guessing that's one for me.
Yeah.
So I love branding. I'm hugely passionate about it. Whenever I'm creating a new brand, I always start on Pinterest, and I search for color palettes on there, because I just find, even like with my experience and creating like lots of designs in the past, I still like to reference color and have a look at like what is currently trending, what my audience might like. And if you just go onto Pinterest, you search color, palette, and then the vibe that you're looking for example, boho, modern, minimalist, it'll pop up with a whole heap of color palettes which are going to appeal to your audience. And then another really cool tip as well is you can go into Canva, and you can add any photo into your canvas, and Canva auto detects the colors in the photo. So if you find a photo that's really cohesive, or even if you want to use a profile photo, or you've got a photo shoot as a coach, you can drag that photo in there, and Canva can auto detect all the colors for you, and you can turn that into your color palette as well.
I quickly show that. Well, I give you. I'm a done for you I do done for you copywriting, and I would love to make this accessible for more people with templates, frameworks, etc. Have you done something similar? Yeah, we had somebody in Germany. She had a really successful copywriting membership, and that's a really, and I think there are a few copywriting memberships out there. I think you have to be mindful about, okay, what angles do you want to use? I think the overlooked membership opportunity is often to create a membership that teaches people how to actually copyright for others, right? So many would then teach the end user how to do copywriting, but the more desirable copywriting membership will be, hey, I'm doing this as a professional service. Look, I'm making a full-time income from this. I can teach you how to do a full-time income from this, and this will always be more desirable than teaching people the skill itself. Jessa, this is what you said, right? Like we could take this. No, I took like a really.
I can't see your screen. I'm so sorry. I can see the self-management worksheet, which is my favorite. So, I mean, that's great.
Do you use it? Like, honestly?
Yeah, every day. Or I try to. I print it out and put it on my desk. I'm very bad at building habits, but whenever I know, like, start to feel stressed, I know that I need to get it out and do it. So
yeah, it really helps with clarity as well. So I just put one photo here, and then it just immediately gave me the color palette. This was actually like probably not the nicest picture. Maybe like this one. It's nicer. Then it just shows you a palette that would work. This is what you meant, right, Tessa?
that's exactly what I meant. I love it. I just feel like it, yeah, especially if you're a coach and you have like a brand shoot and it's got a vibe and like colors, and you're using that on Instagram, it can really be really cool to build your brand around that. So
Jillian is saying Canva response. Would you know what that means?
Oh, sorry, canned response. So when I say canned response for customer service, a lot of things, like I personally use Zendesk. I know Evelyn uses Zendesk as well. So you have the ability to save pre-written responses into the software, and then it's just a click of the button and it can send the pre-written response. So yeah, just trying to build up that library of canned responses. Even when it's just you, it's going to make it so much easier when you take on a team member to manage the emails.
Oh my goodness, I just realized I need to hire Monique to actually do a training about how she built up Zendesk. That would be so helpful.
Monique is incredible. I love her. Like, I have actual love for her. Like, I cannot live with, like, I would have so much stress if Monique was like, okay, I'm going to go not do this anymore. I'd be like, no, don't leave me. She's so good at what she does.
And so proactive as well. So we will add that. I just want to show you, we have like in the mini membership method, we already have like a weekly task dashboard of everything we do. But very recently, Monique also, who helps both Jess and I with our emails, kind of revolutionized everything by setting up Zendesk and pre-written responses and stuff. So I want to make sure to also include that in here. So we already have like a managing your membership section where we also talk about I'm tired. I'm so sorry. So this is the program right inside. And here we have a section about managing your memberships. And we have like a weekly task tracker and all of that. And because you guys also said how to hire a team, like we also have that in detail in there with the whole like interview and onboarding process and all of that. But the number one tip for hiring a team is hiring from the inside out. You also did that, right, Jessa?
Under your advice. Yeah, that's what you told me to do. And it served me so well.
So, okay. My membership, as you know, is a content model. What advice do you have for adding a coaching arm? And when would you say it's a good time? My JB membership?
Oh, sorry. She's speaking to me. But I think that's Shalina. I can't see if it is Shalina. Is it Shalina? I hope it's Shalina. I hope I haven't misnamed someone, but I think it is because that's what you call me. So her content membership, she releases photos and some templates for her audience, and she's wanting to add coaching to it. And she's wondering how she would go about that, adding it to like a pre-established membership that's only content at the moment. What would you do, Evelyn?
That's really, really interesting. I would think about, okay, what are my people actually trying to use it for? And I would like to show them probably ways they haven't thought about using the membership. So I would educate them on how to basically make the most out of the membership. It depends a little bit on who your ideal client is, but you could, in addition to that, also bring on some guest experts. And if they, for example, using the photos to create certain materials, you could also give them feedback on it, right? So do you know what who her ideal client is with that?
Yes, so she does. Her membership is called the Black Business Vault from memory, and she creates like diverse, beautiful photography for obviously to represent people of color in our industry. So I think she does a lot of sort of social media content as well. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Shalina. And yeah, so I think maybe something like content audits, or maybe, I don't know, even some Canva training might be good.
I agree. Canva training might be good. Content audits might be good. And also like sparking the conversation. That's such a beautiful like niche and angle and purpose. And you could really be somebody who also connects different experts that want to bring more diversity to the market. So I think this is a great opportunity for guest experts, for content reviews, for tutorials on how to better utilize the templates. I think that would work extremely well. Community would also work well for this, right? When you're designing materials for your members, how do you make sure not to put too much in one, say, workbook, or how much is too much, too little type of anything? I hope this makes sense. I try to, so I know for a fact that I sometimes overwhelm my members, but I also have the intention, I've built a 7-figure low-ticket coaching membership company, right? There is a lot of knowledge and details that goes into it, and it's my mission to make this program complete. So I want to give people everything they really need to know to be able to do it too. Right? I think often programs, they say, oh yeah, the customer doesn't need to know why, they just need to know what to do. And I found that this is not true, because what we have to do to build such an impactful, fast-growing business with so much potential is challenging. And if people don't understand why they have to do things, the chances that they will do it are very little. So while I could have a program that is easier to digest, it would not serve my members enough. So with that being said, it's of course your personal choice how digestible you want to make things. My approach is, I say what they need to know in order to get the outcome as short as possible, while giving enough why and context and meaning so that they understand what are we doing and why are we doing it and why are we doing it this way. Because the way people work is that knowing what to do often is not enough. In order to take action, they also need to know, why are we doing this? Why are we doing it this way? And what are we doing, like altogether, bigger context and bigger picture work. And the more bigger picture and context work I include, the more results my members get, because it gets easier to do something that you don't want to do if you see the bigger picture. How do you hold yourself, like, when it comes to that, Jessa?
Yeah, I always make sure I explain why as well. I think that is so important. And for me, I'm so like such a visual person. I will flesh out the framework in Canva with title pages first, and I'll put blank pages in with titles across all of them, so I know the exact steps from A to Z my clients take, and then I go through and fill out the content that way. And in between, I go through and I delete any pages which are kind of just fluff, because I don't like, sometimes we feel like things need to be included, and then we're like, oh, when we review them, do they actually move people forward? No, they don't, so they can go. So going through and cutting things out is important as well.
The editing, for sure. And I think it's also okay to kind of know that your memberships will have versions. So you will redo things, and sometimes your monthly content can just be you actually recording yourself, revisiting an old piece of content and saying, oh yeah, well, this is still relevant. Well, here's what I've learned since then. So I would cut this out because now I'm approaching things like this. That can literally be a monthly piece of content until you re-record it in a shorter format. So think of your content also as like, you just, the first attempt is to just get it out there. So people, I often record myself just on a Loom, sometimes even without the proper audio. If people need to know it, right? I just get it out there, and then I can always rework it. And this done is better than perfect approach has served me really, really well, and has served my members really well. Jessa, any ideas for workbooks, templates for healers with a membership that has weekly healing sessions? I'm finding it difficult to think of what kind of content to go with the healing sessions that would be the main content for my membership.
Oh, in terms of content, that might be more of a question for you, Evelyn.
Definitely. So what we will cover tomorrow is how we would always want to create a transformation as the heart of your membership. So we will always want to think about either at the end or at the beginning. So where are people before working with you? And then we can flip that into the positive, which would be the after scenario. Or maybe you think about the after scenario, then we can flip that into the negative, and we know where people are before. Then we basically bridge that with 3 milestone phases. And after that, we look at each phase, and based on your personal experience, we break it down into 3 steps more. And that's the core curriculum of your membership. That's basically all you need, but you also need that because that's your measurement stick for progress. And as long as people know they're making progress in your membership because they know what progress means, they'll stick. But if you don't have that, they very likely will not use the membership consistently. And this is when they feel like, oh, I'm paying for weekly healing sessions, but I'm actually not taking action. So you need to, just like I said, also educate people about the importance of being consistent and using it. And we'll break that down tomorrow. We can maybe even use that healing session example. I will keep that in mind. But that's definitely part of the workbook tomorrow. How to know to hire the right person? I'll just quickly want to answer that personally. From within, based on your values. And then there are kind of two critical things that I'm looking in. So first, you also need to make sure you do your homework, right? You need to have a job description. You need to have clarity of what are the tasks that the person should be working on, and what kind of person do you look for, what kind of traits. Often we look for somebody who is similar to ourselves, but the real opportunity is to have somebody who is complementary to who you are. When it comes to serving your members, they should have the same kind of tonality towards people, though. If you are very kind and warm and welcoming, you would want to look for people who have a very similar tone of voice, because ultimately that's the culture of your membership. So do your homework, and then in the interview, there are two things that I personally specifically look for. The first is vision fit. So the vision of the person for their next years needs to fit into my vision. I need to have such a big vision that their vision needs to have place within that. And I've not personally worded that out. I learned that from Leila Hermosi. I enjoyed her content a lot, and that is so true. You want to pick people that can see themselves growing inside of you, growing with you, right? They need to see and trust that there's enough space for them to grow with you. And if you feel like somebody has different ambitions, then it's not a good fit. And the other thing I'm looking for is signals in my body. That sounds weird, but it's true every single time. When I just have the slightest itch about the person, it's not a good idea. And something in you tells you, I don't know what you catch up, but you catch it. And when you have the slightest itch, don't do it. I paid every single time. What do you think, Jessa? Is that true for you?
I agree, but I'm also a very overwhelmingly optimistic, so I make a lot of mistakes. But I've been really lucky with my team this time. I haven't made mistakes with my team this time, but in the past with the agency that I had, yeah, maybe I just learned my lesson. I'm not sure.
I think it's also learning your lesson. You get more intuitively drawn, I think, towards people.
It's the same for oh, sorry.
No, please go ahead.
Oh, no, it's the same for collaborations though as well, because team building is one thing, but collaborating is another thing. So that advice that Evelyn just gave, it's exactly the same for collaborations.
Yeah. And it's so true. And it's even with every DM you get, if there's the smallest itch at the and you see, as you grow, everybody wants to have a piece of you, right? If you have the slightest signal, back off, really. It's I can't tell you how often I've given the benefit after the doubt after I had this feeling. It's there for a reason. Tell me. I tell you. So my question is, Jessa, how did you become so freaking amazing? I know you will answer. Okay, so as a designer, how did you first develop all of your membership ideas as a creative? How did you transition from a creative to a coach? That's an excellent question.
I just kind of jumped all in. I just kind of I did my Etsy Superstar course. So I knew that I wanted to teach, but I don't think I really transitioned into coaching until I met Evelyn, and she really modeled what I wanted to be. I saw her in her communities and how she shows up, and she's just so, so gorgeous. I'm just like, I want to be like her. So she's my inspiration. She's why I really wanted to change and shift from being a designer to being a coach who designs. So if you're looking for a mentor, just look to her. Other way.
I think I also have to say, I didn't self-identify as a coach for the longest time. I only self-identified shortly before I started Coach Growth Hub, when I was actually coaching in the Infanos and Ads Pro for almost a year at that point. And before that, I wouldn't call them coaching calls. I would call them support calls, right? So because I felt like, oh, I'm not a coach. Like I don't know. I know how to run Facebook ads and I can help you. We can do that on Zoom, but I'm not a coach. So I felt it took me a while to grow into these shoes, and I would even right now see myself more as a consultant than as a coach, because a coach like often does holding the space work and all of those things. And while I have been consuming trainings and stuff like that around it, I'm still very much like, this is what I did and now I show you how to do it and I help you to do it your way kind of person. So I feel like it's okay for you knowing that you don't have to necessarily see yourself as a coach. You can also just be like, yeah, I can support people doing that. I can answer their questions doing that, right? So it's not necessary to fully feel like a coach to have a membership that offers this kind of service and support. Would you subscribe to that, Jessa?
Yeah, I subscribe to anything you say. I'm like, give me what's the drink? Whatever the drink is, I'll drink the drink.
What was it? Is it the tiny membership or the main? I think the affiliate one is the tiny, right? Or is it the main?
Is that for my membership, or
I think so.
or is it the model that you're talking about, like mini
Oh,
membership?
that was what I showed. This is the yearly program. What I showed the portal. Oh, thank you, ladies. I would be interested. How many members did you both get in your first week of launching your mini through ads? So I didn't run ads to my mini until I had like 300 people. I got all the ones from my mini from my email list at that time. When I first launched my main, I also did it to my warm audience and I got 9 members. So this is how it started. Not even 3 years ago, it started with 9 members. What about you, Tessa? Did you ran ads to the mini directly?
Not my first one. The first one I launched. My second one, I did no launch and I just started ads to it. And in the first week, I got 112 members, but only because you could do more than that.
True, the template creator one. Yeah. But you also have to know, like, that was a really desirable offer. Jessa created that membership, a sales page, like using my template, but skills as well, was such a good niche as well. And her ad account was seasoned. So I don't think she would have gotten the same results on a cold ad account, but she had collected purchases. She had built her audience. So that really helps also with seeing those sales fast. But that was definitely an exceptionally well job. 100 members in the first week only from ads is pretty dope.
Dope.
We have actually like a sheet for you with all the contents of all memberships. For me, in a nutshell, Coach Growth Hub is being fully booked online as a coach offering one-to-one services, mainly, or selling, your beta group coaching program. Funnels and Ads Pro is really scaling to one-to-many using funnels and Facebook ads and launching, and then reverse engineering your organic growth. And Coaching Mini Membership Method is really A to Z, how to develop the idea, the content, launch, grow, scale a membership, and also be a membership owner. And for Tessa, for you?
Sorry, I zoned out. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. What's your membership? The content for all your memberships? What's the question?
Oh, it's the content in my memberships. What type of content?
Yeah. So briefly explain like the difference between all the ones you have.
So in my mini, and well, all of my ones are very resource heavy because I teach a lot of templates and printables. So I have things like clip art in there. I have things like mock-ups, which help people present their products. I do have video training as well. And yeah, I do obviously do my coaching calls every week in Passive Income Society. So the biggest difference between my minis and my main is probably the level of access to me and the amount of resources as well. So in my main, they get probably there's hundreds and hundreds of resources, where it's like significantly lesser in my $7. Mm-hmm. Did I answer the question wrong? I'm sorry.
No, that's the same. Like, and we both have like this curriculum and then the tangible deliverables that just facilitate the implementation and make it easier. So It's a lot about taking off creative burden from people on how to do stuff. And it's really like being a problem solver for people as well. Where are the best places to recruit assistants? You own membership. If you have one by Evelyn's experience, what would be the best experience skill to look for in an assistant? This really depends on what are your strengths and what do you need support with. So I personally need support with communication. I need support with organization. I need support with focus. So this is what I was looking for, like in an assistant's perspective, and in a management perspective, right? So Cheryl is organization communication, and then Jo, my personal assistant, she really just helps me to focus. So we do just the daily self-management worksheet together and make sure that I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do and not start new projects. And look in your own membership. If you don't have a membership yet, look on your email list. Like always look within your audience. And if not, you can also, and if you like our vibe and values, then you can also look in our memberships, right? Because you know, okay, those people at least align with this community. So that might be maybe the second best place to look for. Jessa, do you need to go?
Oh, no, not at all.
Just don't want to hold you hostage.
I just spiked myself on a sequin. That's what I was looking at.
Oh, I was thought you look on the watch. When you started, when you first started a membership, did you have a goal of how many members to get? Not sure if I can get 10 members. That is something that makes me procrastinate. I personally just had the goal to make a full-time income from it and be able to drop all one-to-one clients. That was my honest goal with it. Was I would love to do this to get paid to create content and hold a community as as my full-time income. Did you have a goal, Jessa?
I just wanted to see if it would work because I was super skeptical, and I'm like, I kind of trust Evelyn Wise, but do I trust Evelyn Wise? But I don't know. Let's see if it works. It did work, so yeah. Then I was just happy, sort of moving along. I was just grateful to be there and have my members and build it slowly. So never in a million years would I have thought I'd be where I am now.
I also didn't think that. I thought when I created my $7 membership, I was like, can you imagine growing it to 1,000 people? Like I was like, that could be possible. And you know, yeah, it's possible. And the bigger I get, the more I understand that I haven't even scratched the surface of what's possible. She is. I agree. She's an international treasure and needs to be protected at all costs. I love templates, make such a difference. Absolutely. How do you match up Canva fonts with Microsoft Word fonts? Do you know that, Jessa?
No, not really. I would just search for the font name. It might not be in there. You can upload fonts as well if you have the license for it. So if you have Canva Pro, you can upload your own fonts in there if there's a font which is like your brand.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know about fonts, you guys. I just quickly will explain the content of my membership. So, and I also have like a complete video walkthrough. This is the biggest program, which is the A to Z of how to build your membership, right? So that really goes from you have zero audience, you have zero idea of what you want to offer, all the way to scaling it. Then I have Funnels and Ads Pro, which is the middle one. So this one is all about scaling away from one-to-one using paid traffic and funnels. So here you can show, and this has a lot of support. So we have copy reviews, we have tech support, we have a weekly group coaching call with me, we have ad video feedback. Here you see like growth journey, the roadmap, as I said. Then we have zero to audience. So that's that process I talked about in the beginning when I didn't have any audience at all to growing to 1,000 Facebook group members. And I think 1,500 people on my email list in 1 month. And then launching my first beta one-to-one coaching program and making 10K in that first month. This is the templatized process of doing exactly that from scratch. Then I have training on how to do a yearly marketing calendar considering launches. Then we have Facebook ads, A to Z, what you need to know as a coach. Then we have the live launches in here. Then we have the funnels. So all of those funnels I created from scratch, and I flushed literally hundreds of thousands of dollars through and optimized them. So these are the funnels that are actually my own funnels, templatized, and they're all low ticket funnels, right? So the whole idea of my funnels is always that we sell a digital product on front end so that the ad spend is paid for itself. That's my secret to growth, is I did not pay my ad spend. My digital product sales paid my ad spend, and then the upsell offer was basically free. And whether you offer one-to-one coaching or group coaching or a course or a membership, you just got a customer for free. So now whatever the profit is of that backend offer, you keep it. And this is how I was able to grow so fast without ever running into cash flow issues from my ads. And yeah, I just also update things. Like recently I did a mini offer rescue mission with ChatGPT. And then, for example, I also teach a specific funnel, like my planner funnel. And here's reversing organic. So how to actually, my philosophy is to start off with ads because we have limited time, right? And I would have not been able to grow my business with single mom at that time. Dennis Dad and I, we reunited, so it's all good. But at that time, I was alone with a baby and I tried to build my business. I would have not been able to do this without ads because I only had so many hours in a day. And on the back of my ads, I also was able to grow my YouTube to around 10,000 followers and my Instagram to 16,000 followers because now I reverse organic. So I use that paid traffic to actually also grow my socials. And over time, as the ads free you up in time capacity, you can start to post more content. That's great for your brand. That's great for your profitability and for your growth further. But you don't start with that because you need to buy yourself time first. So that's the reverse organic. And then, of course, we have all the planners and templates that you need. And then we have the Coach Growth Hub, and that is really.
Can I say something? Can I vouch for funnels and ads? Because it's one of my favorite programs. I love it too. I knew nothing about funnels. I knew nothing about ads, and it taught me everything. So I'm literally I had to watch Evelyn's ads training like multiple times, and I think my very first question in the group was a very silly question. I was confused, but I knew nothing and it taught me everything. And I went from spending $5 a day. That was my budget that I started with. So it's like around the cost of a coffee in Australia. I was like, that's not a huge risk. I'll just go without the coffee. And I scaled it from there. And the way she teaches it is like, you can actually run ads and be able to, break even on your ads basically. So you don't have to you work towards having funnels and ads that work for your business without spending money. You're generating money as people are going through your funnels, and that money covers the ad cost, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love it.
and that's the goal, right? And this is but it's not like building a SLO funnel. It's not like we just take a random product and we throw it on a page and then we run ads and we'll be profitable. There's system to the madness, and we also have to do it at a certain level of professionalism to be able to make this offer actually convert profitably. And this is what we do in Funnels and Ads Pro is helping people to get their funnel to this level of desirability and professional presentation that it actually can convert at this point, right? Because that's a process. You have to be aware of. That's also not a get rich quick. None of this making money online thing is easy, right? Otherwise, everybody would do it. The only people for whom it's probably easy is the ones that promise you it's easy. Thank you for the lovely feedback on the program. Entire screen. So. And then Coach Growth Hub is the foundation. So that's my 50K roadmap. Now we have a lot of people ask me if it's okay to copy the format and of delivering it in an Excel dashboard like this. And, as long as it's not directly competing, I'm okay with it. But basically that's the journey in a roadmap. And you always have like a tool and the video training with it. So that's like the whole transformation journey. And as an overview, and then when you need support at certain stages, right? For example, now you know how to create the promotions. But if you need more support with evaluation and optimization and optimizing your funnel, if you want that feedback and if you want those additional resources, those are in Funnels and Ads Pro. And here you can see it's all the way from really your coaching business foundation, offer creation, messaging and content, how to have your first lead funnel to get your one-to-one coaching clients, creating a perfect lead magnet, email marketing foundations, how I do my YouTube. And then we have those promos in a box as well for how to get one-to-one clients booked with discovery calls. That's a signature process I have here in the roadmap. And I want to say that most of the coaches that enter my world, like, very soon feel just drawn to the membership model because they see it working for me. And then Coach Growth Hub kind of comes in the background. They're like, okay, no, I don't want to be a coach. I want to be a membership owner. So all of it kind of goes more and more into the direction of, maybe Coach Growth Hub ultimately needs to be the low ticket coach, because that's really what it is. But many coaches also utilize the system to actually sell their high ticket programs better, right? Because it actually supercharges you. If you have high ticket, it supercharges you in addition. But many people just really feel aligned with that low ticket approach. So that's the content. Yeah. Can you have a membership that is only about community and sharing a passion? I have a Christmas account with over 100K followers and wondering how to utilize this. I would still craft a transformation around this. So there might be an underlying transformation people crave, why they feel so drawn towards that Christmas account, right? And towards that. So maybe it's a way of infusing the spirit of Christmas into every single day. How do you hold yourself in a way that it's Christmas every day, right, in your heart? So maybe that can also be a transformation. Think about there's always like an underlying why to a certain passion. And it's typically a feeling people are seeking. And when there's a feeling people are seeking, it means that they don't have it yet all the time. So there is a transformation that can definitely be crafted into this passion. And I would encourage you to think about how to carve it out tomorrow when you follow along in the workbook, because again, then it will really help you with retention as well. I did a couple of months ago. I was rebranding. Do you have a different brand for each membership? Jessa does.
Say to you. I've forced you into it though.
Jessa just loves to create brand. I also think like Jessa needs, like, if somebody should do high ticket, then Jessa should have a high ticket branding agency. It's like she can, if from my opinion, she can charge $25,000 per brand.
You're so lovely.
It's that good.
No, what I love to do, if you are an educator, I love to have what's called an umbrella brand at the top. So you have like you, and it's like one brand, and then all your memberships kind of fall underneath it. So they feel like a family together, but they're different and they're their own entity as well, because it makes them more valuable.
Can I request something? On the last day, on our last day, on Monday, we will actually, or Jessa will turn into the beautiful modern version of Bob Ross, and she will design everything for us, like show you how to do a nice mock-up, and we'll do that above the fold sections. So maybe you could show how to do like one umbrella brand with like sub-brands. Can we do that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's do it. It'd be so fun.
It's easy for you. If we have enough time. I don't know if we have enough time. So
we're going to have so much time.
Hi, I have a 2K offer for coaches and consultants, but I have a passion for recurring income and affiliate marketing, or even strategy and templates for ADHD coaches. I think that that might be a really, really good idea for a mini membership. So you could also think about what unites those different angles for you, and then umbrella your mini for that, right? Or your mini can also be just a rundown of the transformation that you do with people in your 2K program. So think about that. It definitely works to plug a mini into a higher ticket program that's already selling. How many models should you have in a masterclass, and do you include model numbers in a mini course? How many models?
I think, is that modules?
Modules. Oh, I got it. So I recommend to so in a masterclass, I think you only need like, you know, the masterclass itself. When you have a mini membership, or maybe you mean like a big flagship course. So I want to show you that like this is again like a process, right? So remember when I showed you in the beginning how I started out with just a few modules? You can even pre-sell the whole thing, right? If you're confident. This is Coaching Mini Membership Method 2.0. So here you can see this is everything in 2.0. And if I open this up, then you see that one second. Okay, so this is 2.0 of the course that comes with the yearly group coaching. So, you know, it's yearly also because it's realistic that you go through and implement everything throughout a whole year. Like Jessa also was super fast. We have some super fast student, but I think like a year is realistic. This is how we started. This was 1.0. So start here, pre-work and bonuses, first phase, second phase, third phase. So you see, this was 1.0. And people were also super happy with that already. So it's okay to go through developments and versions in what you create. And for Coach Growth Hub, for example, I didn't have this in here. I had start here, Coaching Business Foundation, offer creation. I didn't have this. I didn't have this. I had messaging, reach visibility, from offer to conversion, from offer. Now I didn't have this, go evergreen and scale. I had this, and then that was it when I started. So the way I break it down is that you have the before, after, the 3 phases, and each phase you translate into 3 modules. So you have a total of 9 short modules, and typically the videos are 10 to maximum 15 minutes in each of the modules, and that's the whole evergreen core content, because it really just needs to be a transformation walkthrough. And in the Coaching Mini Membership Method, we even have the templates of what to say in each module, because the core content module really is just there to educate people about the transformation, which again is this what they need to know to if they're making progress in your membership.
I love that program. It's amazing. I did version 1.
So Vanessa said, I'm planning to launch a 5-day challenge for female coaches on the back end. I wanted to offer 6-week group coaching program, 6 months support of 2K. Should I make it as 1-to-1 to get started, or a group coaching? Just worried that if there are only 2 people, then it's weird to call it a group coaching. Thank you. So I would highly recommend doing a 3-day challenge for the sake of your sanity, conversions, and energy levels. Jess and I backed out of doing, like, we do 3-day challenges now. That's much more sustainable for everyone. With that being said, I think you should say it's a group coaching program. And if there are fewer people, you can still tell people and say, I've decided to switch it to a 1-to-1. Nobody will be mad, because, you know, it's more value for them as well. And again, there's no, if it's 2 people for $2,000, that's a lot. For some people, like, that's already like a lot. And even if it's 1 person, so, and it happens so often. And I think we all need to stop like feeling ashamed for that. It's completely okay. If you get 1 person, it's an absolute win. And I would just be transparent about this. Or you could also see it like this. If you get 1 person for 2K, that's like having 100 members at $20 for 1 month. So for many, that would be already a win, right? Big one. What could a simple membership look like for reactive dog owners, helping them transform their dogs into well-behaved companions? Before scenario, what is happening in their life right now, everything that goes wrong. What's the after scenario? 3 steps. We have frameworks for the 3 steps, but typically it's like an education element. Understand kind of what goes wrong. Then it's a either element of acquiring the new skill, and then the third phase will be maintaining the new skill with support, or it's like breaking the old habits and rebuilding with support, right? So, and then you can just break those down into 3 phases. and create the content around this. And then you could have, for example, weekly hot seat coaching calls where somebody describes the situation with their dog and you coach them through, what they can do better and how to hold themselves. So this can be done fairly easily. If you come tomorrow, we can also play it through with the workbook. Do you let people sign up for 1 month only? Of course. It's a cancel anytime, and I have so many people that said, I wanted to just cancel after the first month, but I was in the community and I can never leave. So, and if I would make it like a minimum stay, people would not want to check it out. And my goal is just that people see kind of what's inside, and the right people will stick. The right people at the right time for them will stick, because just if somebody canceled doesn't mean it was not the right person. Could also just not be a good fit right now. I would like to build a membership for young people to access content, but then have coaching sessions for parents. Would that work as a mini membership? So you would sell to the parents. That would work, but you need to talk to the parents in the marketing. Yeah, no, that would work. See, you already have your first potential founding member here. So we just have a few more. That's what I'm doing with my clients, onboarding book, and then yeah, that's completely fine. Do you at any point go through suggested software to use for managing and running the membership? Yeah, we even have our own software now, and we will make it one more time available at the beta price. So Jessa and I, with the help of Netta Talmor, created our own WordPress-based software that is just a one-time purchase. So for us, this is not about getting you on a monthly subscription or anything. I used ClickFunnels. I was satisfied with it. I recommended it, and then they released 2.0, and I cannot transfer my funnels onto 2.0. It's more expensive for my members, and 1.0 has mistakes like I'm sending traffic to my website and it redirects people to ClickFunnels. So eventually we were really fed up with this, and we started to build our own Go High Level white label solution. Then we started to work with Netta on our Armory shop, which is a done for you digital product shop that we have as an offer for our Secret Weapon members. And we were completely blown away by Netta and her team. And she suggested us and said, I can build you that. And I was like, okay, you can try it and then we can test it. And she actually built it for us. And now the goal is to just make it really available. So this is a one-time fee. You get all my funnels in WordPress, including a blog and everything. And the one-time fee for all the funnels, all the templates is $297. And then if you want to supercharge it into membership system, there is a plugin that's called the MemberPress plugin. And that is usually in the version that we provided. It's 350 for the first year and over 700 for the following years. Because we provide the pro version, but Netta negotiated a special deal for our people that it's just 150 per month for that pro version. And then if you would want to have multiple order bumps, which I recommend for average order value, that is a plugin we recommend, which is upsell plugin. So the yearly cost would only be, you would need to separately from us get those plugins. If you buy that through Netta, you can get that deal. And for us, it's just a one-time fee and you own that thing. And it's built on WordPress and you can build up your SEO and you don't have to build on rented land and pay monthly fees. So that's the solution we recommend. And during the challenge, we will make it one last time available for this one-time price of the $297 plus the separate plugins. This is what we recommend. We specifically build it for us because we were not happy with the solutions available. And I think, Jessa, you also made experience with Carter, like they lost content of yours or something.
How many horror stories do we have between us with just software companies like this? I hate being trapped by a software company. So I think I'm so excited to move everything over to WordPress and have all the funnels just there together. It'll be wonderful because then you can move it anywhere, which is awesome.
Yeah. So our big goal for the year is in Coach Growth Company is completely move everything off of ClickFunnels. But you saw like how much content is there. And we need to also shift all members. So it will be a process, but I want to be completely independent. Yeah. Big goal. It's the same thought like with Etsy probably. And like I had experience with Amazon, it's like if the big player decides that you're a number, and then you can scream and shout and jump around, they still don't care. So I don't like that. Still a bit of a control freak, to be honest, with my business. So I'm not sure. How would you build a membership when you have to limit your live online training if you have health issues and are sometimes unwell? So I would make sure that my members are aware of this, like right from the beginning. And I would see that I try to keep it flexible when I have to postpone, that I probably also have fallback solutions, and that I go for like a maximum of 2 calls a week. So get yourself then support from within the membership. It can be start very affordable, and make sure your members are aware, right? And many members will understand your personal circumstances as long as you are upfront with them and communicate them early and clearly. Many people don't mind, really.
It's just all about expectation, I think. And you're building what you are creating, basically. You're making your own rules. You can do what you want.
Yeah. Thank you. It's your business. Like you can do what you want. You just have to set the right expectation and communicate early and clearly. What is the coaching commitment for each week? The best module? Get in 1 hour generally. So it completely depends. I had in Coach Growth Hub 2 live Q&As answering submitted questions, all the way until it had like 2,000 members, because it was just not necessary more often. Now I do it on a weekly basis because I also noticed the more I am present, the more people upgrade to the other offers, because they're like, I need more access to this lady. So you would probably like want to do it more, because people would want to work with you more the more they see you. But every other week in the mini membership is enough. And then for Funnels and Ads Pro, I also had it bi-weekly. I also upgraded it to weekly. And for Coaching Mini Membership Method, I also had it bi-weekly, and I also upgraded it to weekly. And that was just by desire. When I had more coaches helping me to answer the questions daily, I just still wanted to be present with my members. So, but every other week would have been enough per membership. What do you think, Tessa?
I do it a little bit differently. I do one Q&A in each of my mini memberships once a month, and then I do 2 weekly Zoom calls in Passive Income Society on a Friday. So I do 2 for the time zones. I do one in the early morning and then one late at night, just to accommodate everyone.
Okay, see that's like less in the mini and actually more in the main. That's so cool that you have the time zones. How we have solved the time zones is that so one of my monthly calls Cheryl takes, and one call per month I do in the early time. So I have all my Australian people there, and we will actually now, because the groups get so big, also add an additional coach for Coaching Mini Membership Method, and she has a lot of launch experience specifically. So
That's so cool.
if you have a small audience and don't offer coaching, can you still have a successful launching? Can you still successfully launch a main membership? Yeah, absolutely. I still highly recommend going through the zero to audience process, because it will pay dividends down the line, because you understand your audience much better. You have the messaging dialed in. And for me, whenever I build my email list and I really show up for my audience consistently with the social media post strategies that we talk about in day 3, it's not a question if people convert, it's like a question when they convert. So, uh, try to do the right things and trust that the success will come, rather than trying to shortcut things and then always kind of reset yourself back into those smaller loops. I'm not saying you're doing this, but this is what I typically seeing happening, is like people want to see more results faster, and then they keep themselves trapped in those infinite loops of trying to shortcut it, and it just never leads anywhere. Oh,
So lovely.
My definition of coaching is a combination of coaching and consulting in your area of expertise and some therapeutic interventions. Yeah, I agree. Which is, why sometimes I'm hesitant to call myself a coach. I feel like I would need even more training. And then at the same time, I specifically hired a certified mindset coach for Coach Growth Hub to support the members, because I'm like, I don't need to become everything for my members. I can also be what I am best at, and I can hire help for the things where others are better at. Everybody has a place to shine. How did you also slowly close your agency while transitioning into your membership model, as I'm still needing the agency from a financial perspective? Okay, so first I got rid of the paying clients, and that was actually that was actually so beautiful. And yeah, I was just like, when I knew, okay, now this is the most painful client. This is my lowest hourly rate. They're the most unappreciative. And when I just think about them, my gut wrenches, I knew, like, I let you go first. So this is kind of how I decided which client I let go first. So I really took into consideration, what do I earn per hour and how terrible does it make me feel? And yeah, then slowly but surely, one after the other, you just tell on time. And as your income increases here, you just free yourself up. And it's like, honestly, sometimes you're like scared to speak it out, but after that you feel so good. And sometimes the client will throw a tantrum, which should just reaffirm you that it was so good that you freed yourself up. Founding members to my mini membership, what are your thoughts on that, and would you suggest to offer to make it interesting? I wanted to use first members to test the content while I'm still building it. So I hope I understand it correctly. If you already have a membership and you want to introduce the members and give them founding members access to the mini, that's what I did with Coach Growth Hub. I first invited all people from Funnels and Ads Pro to become Coach Growth Hub members, which massively increased the retention and their results because they had foundational gaps, which ultimately in the first place even brought me to the idea of creating a mini membership. I was like, y'all want to run ads, but we still haven't figured out your offer and your messaging. Like, what are we even sending traffic to? So we're just building the foundation. And that was the first, like, inviting my original members as guests. If you mean it the other way around and you want to launch a mini first, I highly recommend thinking about launching the mini with a higher support tier. That would then be the second model we saw in the workbook, which is the multi-tiered membership. Same content for everyone. You can develop it with everyone, but one version has the group support and the Q&As, and one also has an additional weekly call. And then you have 7 and 27 for the pricing. All things we showed are linked in the guides, I think. Or did you show a separate sheet, Jessa?
Oh, the sheet. I think the question was, she asked it before. She was asking about the membership models, either the membership models or she wanted a list of your memberships. So the worksheet from today is located in the guide. Is there a place that we can find links to all of your memberships, Evelyn?
Good question. I think we will link all our memberships below then.
Yeah, we've got a sheet that we can put up that discusses everything as well.
That's true. Yeah, we should put that out. I think this training is pre-recorded because they don't answer our questions here.
What?
We're constantly answering your questions, guys. What's going on?
Fascinating.
Yeah. Can a clip art membership that also offers watercolor design elements work as a main membership? What do you think, Tessa?
I think yes. Creative Fabrica does like a membership model as well. So that could be one that you could look at. Clip art is huge on Etsy at the moment as well. So you could have a look at the different types and have like a smaller amount in your mini and then a huge amount in your main, and the mini cycles through clip art as well. So every month you release a drop and then that drop goes into the main, which is like your big archive. So that's one way you could structure it.
Absolutely. Sometimes we have very specific just content library types memberships. That can also work. However, you could 10x your potential if you include an educational component on how, to get the most out of the clip art. And that, again, can be facilitated also with guest experts. And then on top of that, you could also funnel into their memberships where they teach more about it, right? So let's say you could ask Jessa, can you please create me a guest training on how to best market my clip art on Etsy? I'm not trying to involve Jessa, but just as an example. And then she could say, yeah. And then you can link back to her passive income society if people want help with that.
And you can also create an affiliate link as well. So you can earn recurring revenue by linking to all different memberships.
Yeah, and that can actually be significant, right? So we have Secret Weapon members, and right now the affiliate program is on pause because, again, we have problems with ClickFunnels. But we pay 40% monthly recurring. So, some people can build up a whole recurring revenue business just of being affiliates for membership programs. Yeah, we're trying to get everyone, guys. Please be a bit patient with us. Thank you so much. How we also talked about this like a little bit earlier, actually, with your members kind of passing on culture also to people that are new to your world. When Jessa and I did our first challenge launch in December, we were after saying, oh, that felt like jumping into cold water, because it was like 4,000 people, and it was a lot of people that had not been in it was the second launch where we ran the first time ads to it. And it was a lot of people that hadn't been in our world. And we were like, wow, the culture in here is like so different from how we're used to it from our communities. And that's also the beautiful thing about your communities and growing them consistently. It's like your existing members, they're passing on also the culture to the new members. And it's like just this comment, you see that your members like almost are looking out for you and telling other members, no, this is all okay, like this is how it works. And it's like almost like now you have these additional party hosts at your cocktail party that also is like, oh, here's your drink, I show you around, this is how it works. So this is so beautiful once this develops. What is the minimum initial capital for starting a membership? What's the major expenses starting? You'd want to set aside a budget for ads. I recommend just started with $5 a day. That's a little bit low. I would recommend, if you really have zero audience, set aside $10 a day for the audience growing ads. Then you can launch into your membership. From the tech stack, you can keep it, if you're really on a tight thing, you can sign up for Stripe and create a free checkout for your membership. And you can literally sell your membership idea through a Google Doc. Like, you can really keep it that simple. If you are on such a tight budget, you need to double down on really nurturing, and you can use MailerLite, which is like a free software. If you're on such a tight budget, I recommend then you need to use every opportunity, like the promo email, like the coaching for testimonials, like posting in the free group, all the joint ventures, all the networking to get your first people in. Maybe consider cross-financing, with doing some done-for-you work, or with doing some hourly coaching. I did that in the beginning to finance my ads, and then slowly but surely try to invest in a proper funnel software and maybe more ads. But you can start really small, but then you just have to be more resourceful. You can find all the sheets under guides. Thank you so much. Yeah, Stu is offering something similar, and I also was in Tribe. I think so I know what is the main, it's like 2 years ago I took it. What's the main difference is kind of the way I create the model. Mine is specifically for info-based memberships. I have all my own like signature processes, and it's like very much step by step. It's very implementational and a lot of support. And I don't know how Stu has his structured now exactly. Oh, thank you.
Everyone's like, it's gold.
It's gold. It's my baby. So my goal is to have consistent monthly income, 1-to-1-ish. Isn't doing that. I'm inspired by you, Evelyn. Oh, thank you. And that's like a rough patch. Like when you really have your little one before you can afford any help. it's really rough. Like I remember, you can ask Vivian. She was like my first paying member. She was the first one that signed up. She's still in the memberships, and we even met in Vancouver in person, which was so beautiful. Like there were nights where we were on the phone and I was nursing Danny with one arm, I was crying with the other, and I was typing with the hand. Like it was rough. But it's like it's a time period, right? That you kind of go, right? It's not forever. Yeah. There's definitely a transition when you're in one stage and yet have feeling comfortable. Absolutely. And this happens again and again. When I started last year, around this time, when I started to really scale and build my team, I had a month where I was having so many panic attacks. And I think there's like I don't know how it physically works in your body, but there's like a process of letting go of one version of you and you kind of grieving that. And it's it's like massive things, I think, that happen inside you when you make all those changes like so fast. You're shedding so many beliefs so fast, and I don't know, it's growth pains. Did you ever have this?
Yeah, you kind of goes like you'll go like you plateau and then you go and then you'll be like, ah, it hurts so much, and then you'll adjust and you'll be like, okay, and then you'll plateau again, then the cycle happens again.
Very true. That's true. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have such a fun week. It's gonna be so good. I can't wait. Like if you do use the branding boards, I would love if you share them in the group because I would love to see what you create with them. I want to see which one's the most popular.
Yeah, I also want to see. Do you have a suspicion which one is the most popular?
Oh, that's a great question. I think it'll be the modern one with the alcohol ink because that's my favorite.
Okay.
What about you? We'll take a bet.
I can't select. Like I want all of them. I want to redesign coaching mini membership now in the branding of the challenge.
Oh, movie cool.
And then when you do the next challenge, I'm like, no, wait, let me redesign it again. I, I mean, if your mini, if you, the key advantage of your mini membership is that it creates relationship, culture, and community. If it's product based, you kind of robbing yourself of that main benefit. In that case, it's better to just have a main membership and work with self liquidating offers to grow that. So in that case, you wouldn't necessarily need it to be a monthly recurring. Then it's just a harder sell. Everybody wants umbrella branding now. Oh wow. Yes, it's starting next week. Register to see how he builds his memberships. My mind is spinning. I have changed scope and direction so many times, from passions of being a sales leader to affiliate marketing to template creator. 9-year programs either to get a mini membership launched, but no idea what to focus on for the niche. Oh, you know what? This is so cool actually, because this sounds like you're multi-passionate, which I think Jess and I are too. Like there are so many things like we like to do, and the memberships can kind of become an outlet for representing everything that you like, right? So maybe your mini is really just a carefully curated toolbox of your favorite methodologies to make money online, which can be being a sales leader, doing affiliate marketing, and being a template creator. You can really build that membership around who you truly are. So the process is, and tomorrow we go for it, to map out the before and the after, and then bridge the steps, and then put a name on that child. We'll be able to do it. Don't think that you have to say like, oh, it's affiliate marketing or it's that. It can be also like Jessa's passive income society is almost like, this is all the ways that Jessa enjoys making money with her very unique, amazing skill set. I joined 4 months ago, but only now seeing the value because I'm in the right mind frame for it. Yeah. And that happens to so many members. And it just takes time to really build an authentic connection to someone. And this is also the advantage of the memberships, is you have that time, especially with a mini. That might be too long for this one. I think, Michelle, you just have to really follow us along tomorrow, and we will also have the opportunity to then tomorrow share your creations and get hot seat feedback on the creations. And I think that will really help you to get very, very clear on what you actually want to provide. I was struggling so much being on camera. You can totally just create a faceless video. You can totally just record yourself talking. That's completely fine. I do this, in fact, all the time whenever I don't feel, whenever I feel drained on energy, but I need to share something, Loom, I disable my video and I'm good to go. On Instagram, I realized like it's so much easier for me to go live in this, or to post a story or to create a reel. There's like a filter that looks relatively natural, but I have a little bit of acne. It just puts the acne away. I use that filter because it allows me to show up for my audience consistently. So I'm cool with that because it's not about me, it's about my audience, and it just makes it easier for me to show up. So when you struggle to be on video, just ask yourself, what would it make it easier for me to show up? And then just do that. Yeah, Netta for the win. She is absolutely amazing. We will do it for this challenge. So in the challenge, we will open up beta spots again, and my guarantee is, we discussed this with Netta, that everybody who joins the mini membership method before the 22nd will get the beta price again and will get a spot. And all current mini membership method members that couldn't be, we did a first batch, like we took on 100 beta clients, and we were sold out in under 24 hours only from social media posts. We didn't even send an email. So people were really waiting for this because the tech frustration is real. We talked with Netta, we will do one more round at the beta price. She will also do an implementation camp again with people to help everybody get set up and running. And she allowed me to guarantee that everybody that signs up before this time that is in mini membership method will one more time be eligible for this beta offer. Okay, I'm ready. So we're just setting it up again. Yeah, for the checkout. But I guarantee the price. Can we ask specific questions? Absolutely. I will then tomorrow, when we talk about the funnel, I will definitely tag Netta in the posts. And she and her team are absolutely excellent. They give you all the details with that. And it also comes with lifetime support, by the way. So they also support you after that, even though it's a one-time fee. Yeah, you can add that to an existing WordPress solution, and you can also create a subdomain. I work on average 30 hours per week, but I work very focused and I trained myself to be very efficient. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for staying so long with us. I'm dying to know, Evelyn, do you know your human design type? You reference your gut feelings a lot and I resonate with that. Somebody told me I'm a manifesting generator, but I don't know much more. And I don't know if that's true. And I don't know what that means. But I love I have a few human design coaches, and I have to say that I love all of them. So I don't know what it is, but I would like to go live once a month, as it would be teaching a handmade project and one Q&A for the mini membership. That's amazing, because that's huge value. Would you differentiate a mini from a main by including your whole back catalog, or should I have back catalog available for both mini and main, but coaching and the bells and whistles in the main? I think you should work with a back catalog, because then in the mini you don't overwhelm members. And if they still want more, they can go to the back catalog and it's more manageable for you. That's a good idea. Just sending some love to balance oh, no. Let's be kind. I wanted to start a planner, then use the transition to a membership. Is that a good idea? Yeah, that's the planner funnel I teach inside Funnels and Ads Pro. The planner funnel was my winner in whole 2022. So that was growing my monthly recurring revenue the fastest, was selling a planner and then having the immediate upgrade to the $49 Funnels and Ads Pro. That was the biggest impact on the monthly recurring revenue in 2020.
And you have a training on that in Funnels and Ads, which I'm like, it's the best training. It's so good. Yeah. It worked for me as well.
Yeah, you also have a planner, right?
And I have two planners.
Two planners, and it's not like you can do the same thing for a workbook, for a template bundle, etc. So it's the same principle basically. I'm currently in Austria, and I divide my time between Austria and Canada because Danny's daddy is Canadian, and yeah, and I love Canada too. So, but I also love Austria. I'm
torn between two.
Yeah.
You also love Australia. You have to come, or I have to go there.
My brain is exploding with ideas. No, that's completely normal too. As it's like the same with the questions. You don't have to have the answer, but your brain has to have the information to make the best. We feed your brain with all the data, so it knows. And when you make your next steps, you can compute taking it into consideration. Oh, super good. Yeah, it's called On Summer Cloud Do or something. I will share it actually because it really made my life a lot easier. I really love the PLR Secret Weapon, but my niche is in kids. I'm planning to make play-based activities. Oh, activities are so huge. Is any part of your membership that is applicable to this niche? I don't personally know how to combine fonts, product mechanics in line with this niche. Jessa, what do you think?
I don't think we've got a lot of activities currently, but I think we've got some in the sheet, like they're in the works, like a big pack as well. So
I think because we saw those are definitely coming. And we saw that they are really, really trending as well right now on Etsy too. So for Secret Weapon, we just grow it over time and we try to be as fast as possible. Jessa now built a beautiful team of people that can help us. So that's amazing. But this is about I know, I'm so sorry. Like we didn't even expect it. I should have only posted it in the mini membership method group. But I was like, we should fill this spot. So let me just put out the post first, and then we sent an email, and then it exploded. So,
she is. I call her a robot or an alien. I'm undecided. I don't know. We'll see. I'll report back.
My manifesting generator is I can spin many plates at once. Sounds like you, Evelyn. Okay. I need to actually now look into it that you're all saying this. I'm an affiliate marketer and digital product seller, Armory. I want to create a membership that includes everything I've learned about affiliate marketing, selling digital products. What would sending members onto external products like your PLR membership be something I could include in my? Absolutely. Like if you're saying, look, I learned this here and I'm using this resource, you can include the affiliate link. You get 40% monthly recurring. It's like adding a mini membership to your portfolio, right? And it absolutely makes sense. And it's also the more honest way than to saying, well, let me create something similar to this. Like, why would you recreate what's already there if you have the chance to just partner up and send traffic that way? That's like trying to be like, that's like me wanting to become a mindset coach now, right? I have my field of expertise. I'm super good at this. Let me bring somebody else to kind of make that. I think that's an excellent idea for sure. If you ever want to know more, I'd be happy to send you your chart.
It's so lovely.
I want to learn more after the challenge. And then I was so nervous, you guys. And I caught a fly, and I need to share.
Yeah, you have to share the photo in the group. Like it was like war. I'm like, we're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. And Evelyn's like sent me this photo of victory. And I'm just like, okay, we're going to make it.
There was a big fly. It was a big, nasty fly. I don't know how it came in. And it was circling around me like a shark. And it was so loud. And I was like, if this is during the live, I will go nuts. And I only slept like very little because Danny couldn't sleep. And then I brought him to my bed and I woke up like at 4. Like and then the fly. So I caught it. It is the first time in my life that I caught a fly, but I was like, this is how determined I am to bring my best to the table.
She's like, it's now outside living happily. I'm like, oh, it's so lovely that you released it into the wild. She's like, I didn't want to have blood on my hands before the live.
Yeah. Okay. Can you imagine starting the challenge with bloody hands? That's not okay. Chess's society is amazing. Passive income society. So many of my Funnels and Ads Pro and Coaching Mini Membership Method members joined because they also love the idea of utilizing Etsy as a funnel, because Jessa has resources that make their life just a gazillion times easier. And because guess what? Because I'm multi-passionate, I also attract multi-passionate people. So they just love, to sometimes dive into that and add something else. And I think it's so beautiful. We have such a nice synergy between our memberships as well.
They're like sisters.
Look.
Or I do refer mine, like they're sort of like your grandchildren, because it's like your methodology. So they're not your babies, but they're like your programs babies, maybe?
They're my programs babies, yeah. Can I be the auntie of the programs?
Ooh. You're going to have to come up with a title.
Yeah, a chart. Jessa sends me diagrams for everything. So it's like a running gag. Or no, Glenn also does. Okay, never mind. Everybody thinks Evelyn should move to Australia. Jessa works me like every week with this.
I do. I'm just like, come on, Evelyn. Come on.
Think about how much we could get done. She tries like all the angles. Think about how many mimosas we could have.
It's true.
In your MMM, you're having a mini main and a course. I'm concerned that don't know what to include in my course after a mini and main. So I hope I might have explained that wrong. That's like the progression it can lead into. But for some people, just having a main membership is more than good enough and super scalable, right? What typically will happen, I tell you, when you have your membership and you serve the heck out of your members, they will be like, can you do this for us? And can you teach us that? And you will have a long list of all the programs and things you need to create for your members, because they'll start asking you for it. So don't try to force it. It will be a natural progression, and you won't even think that, like, if you follow through with this in 2 years, you sit here with a signature program you didn't even know is already in your brain. So no, we haven't, but I really desperately want to.
Definitely one day. It'll be magic.
It will be
I'll
magic.
give you the biggest hug when I meet you.
I couldn't sleep. Yeah. I was really going crazy. Oh, you guys are lovely. Okay, so this is the last one I see here. I struggle to narrow down what I actually want to teach in my mini membership. I'm affiliate marketing and digital products. I get overwhelmed with all the info and I don't know how to focus down on one point. We will go through it very much in detail tomorrow, but think about it like this. What would be a realistic goal to promise in your mini? Would it be, how about adding $500 every single month from affiliate marketing and digital products to your income? We see that the side hustle market has so much potential, and most people, more busy people than you think, because you think entrepreneurial, but many people are just like, especially with the cost of living crisis that I talked about, many people are just like, my mortgage got up by $500. How can I make $500 extra every month? Huge audience, right? So think about a small outcome where you say, okay, this is the bold promise of my mini, is I help you to get to that point. And then there could be the main where you say, okay, now let's take you, for those of you that want to take it full time, right? So that could be one angle. With your mini, you can think of flatter with the information or shorter. Flatter would be you give an overview of everything, and in your main, you give the deep dive and the implementation. Or you could think, this is the first part of the journey, this is the second part of the journey. This is how I think about it. But definitely both works. I think a little bit sure that today was very information heavy, but we just wanted to make sure everyone wants to, or everybody is on the same page as to what we're building and what the underlying values are. And I hope I scared everybody away who wants to get rich quick, because it's not what we. I'm sorry, I don't have it. Oh,
That's so
thank you so
lovely.
much. So either main first, then self-liquidating offer, then mini, or mini with more higher support tier. Those are the two options. Oh, let your chickens out. Okay. Same time, same place tomorrow if you want to. Okay. Thank you all so much. It's so many people and you stayed so long. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's been so fun. So many amazing questions as well. I
Yeah.
can't wait to see all the ideas and obviously the branding. I'm a bit biased.
Yeah, tomorrow will be so good. So tomorrow we walk you, like tomorrow will be more practical, walking you through the ideas and everything. So would you suggest for me? I would suggest you launch your 2K program and then after the launch, downsell into your mini and then turn on the ads. And then from the ads, the upsell offer should be an hourly consultation. And from that, you can offer your package. That's how
See,
I
she's
would
a
do that.
robot or an alien. A robot or an alien. Like it has, it's the only explanation. She sees it.
I just done it so many times at this point. So it's like you designing in Canva. You just do it in your sleep. It's like, how do I sell my signature program with a mini membership? Well, obviously, you first launch your program.
This is what you do.
Yeah, it's like, in this case, it's like a program going off. I just know it by heart. Thank you, everyone. So we'll be out now. And thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, everyone. It's been so fun. See you tomorrow.
Bye.